All right, I think it looks okay here. I don't actually see any of the overlays, though, on my OBS right now. Not exactly sure why. Hmm. Yeah, this is weird. I don't see my overlays. Oh man, another stream, another confusing setup. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, maybe this is too far forward. Actually, yeah, I think I got it. Yeah, I figured it out. All right, okay, good. That was a bit confusing. I also have a source here for Daggerfall audio, but I think that's okay to keep up right now while the game's not on. I don't know how the volume sounds right now, but hopefully not too bad. All right, yeah, I figured it out. So you actually have to put the game source at the bottom, or else it's going to stick out on top, I think. So that's good to know. I would have been sitting here for like 10 minutes without knowing what to do if I didn't randomly think of that. It looks kind of good. This is the first time I'm looking at Neverwinter Nights on stream here. I think it's correct. The only other game I've streamed is Daggerfall, so yeah. I have a different OBS layout for it. Because Neverwinter Nights is actually kind of a weird game for OBS for some reason. I was trying a bunch of different settings, and yeah. It was getting stuck a bunch of times. The quality actually looks worse for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's like degrading the quality slightly. But I think it should be all right now. Yeah, after we do this playthrough, this one's pretty short. It's called Witch's Wake. Once we finish this, I finally got the Abyss dungeons to work for Daggerfall. So after this, we can try out some of that. Shout out to Jet for helping me out with that. Yeah, actually really weird. It was the Paints and Dyes mod for some reason. And I had the lighting on too low or too high. I forgot which one. So it was basically just pitch black for me in the Abyss dungeons. But we're good now, I think, with it. I tested it a little bit. It looked okay. It still looked a little dark, actually, in the Abyss dungeons, but I think that's kind of intentional. But yeah, both times I spawned in on the Abyssal dungeon for Daggerfall, it was completely underwater. So I think what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to have to roll an Argonian, actually, for that, which is kind of cool. And if it's really, really challenging, which it might be, then we'll probably make a custom class for it. I forgot that you can do that for the roguelike mode. You can actually just make your own custom class. So I don't really have to worry about getting stuck. I don't know if the pre-made classes are good enough for it. Some of them probably are. And if I had to guess, I would probably guess that the monk is pretty good. If I had to choose anyone just to live through the Abyssal dungeon, because you'll probably start with like a 60-something% hand-to-hand skill. So you don't really have to worry about that starting iron weapon. Every other class is going to start with an iron weapon in the Daggerfall roguelike mode. But the monk, you get around that. So if you spawn and there's like a bunch of liches or some other undead stuff underneath there, you actually have a fighting chance, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we'll check that out later. First, we're going to do a little Neverwinter Nights. We'll see how you guys feel about this. Yeah, I did cover Neverwinter Nights once on the channel, so it's not like we haven't ever seen it before, but yeah, I actually haven't played this campaign in a very long time also. But I do remember it's really short. I think it could be between like 2 to 4 hours in total. If it does end up being kind of long, I don't know if we're going to do the entire campaign in one sitting on this stream. But yeah, I know it's short. And I know it doesn't have too much combat, I don't think. Though it does have some. It's kind of weird. I have my YouTube chat popped out, but I still see the chat on the right side here anyway. Wonder if that's how it always was. I don't remember that working that way. But yeah, Witch's Wake is one of those modules that was really, really well liked by the community. And it unfortunately did not ever finish, which is a really sad story. Which is part of the reason why I wrote the thumbnail as the, what did I write? The most tragic campaign in Neverwinter Nights. That's partly because the story is a little somber and sad, but also because the actual context of what happened afterwards with the module never finishing also being sad. Hey, what's up, Glade? How's it going? Yeah, we're just about to get started here. We're doing a little Neverwinter Nights for the first time on stream. And yeah, I'm excited. I hope you guys like it. It's been a little while since I've done Neverwinter. I did do a little Neverwinter earlier on in just like a full showcase of the game itself. Hey, what's up, Nathan? Yo, who interested in starting a party playthrough? Yeah, that'd be sick. Maybe one day. I'm thinking about if you guys enjoy this. And I don't know. If the viewership's good, maybe we'll do some DM stuff someday for live stream. I can get some people that want to actually play, and I could DM a module for you guys. That'd be kind of sick. I don't know. Do enough people have this game to do that? I just want to get my OBS off the screen here. One sec. I think my Twitch is looking okay now. All right, let me minimize this. Bring the game up. Yeah, so if you're unfamiliar with Neverwinter Nights, the way it works is the game is really broken up into modules or campaigns. And these are kind of separate from like a single world. So if you're thinking of Daggerfall, you know, you load into Daggerfall, the world's the same. In Neverwinter Nights, campaigns are their own contained worlds. And when this game released, BioWare provided, you know, massive modding tools. Because they intended for the community to make their own modules and stories, and that's exactly what happened, actually. Second best RPG after Daggerfall, in my opinion. Love that it's completely D&D rules, so it's easy to follow. Yeah, it's really nice. I kind of like the real-time with pause as well. Everything about Neverwinter Nights is really nice, but I do love just how active the modding scene is for modules and campaigns. What is your favorite Neverwinter campaign? Oh, that's a great question. Oh man, what's up, Goblin? How's it going? That is tough to say. You know, I actually really liked for the premium modules, which I think most of the community modules are better, but Darkness over Daggerford I think was actually pretty good. I felt like the story was okay. The story's not the best, the writing's not the best, but it was like a seamless open world that felt like it had a lot of freedom. I like how you start off the story trapped in the town as well, which was cool. And you gotta do a bunch of like social questing to figure out how to escape. And the companions are pretty cool. There's a decent amount of banter. It's definitely like a BioWare CRPG light kind of thing. It's but it's cool. I thought Pirates of Sword Coast was pretty good too. But I really like Witch's Wake. And the vibe and atmosphere of this module is kind of unlike any other module, in my opinion, for Neverwinter Nights. Unfortunately, it never finished, so it kind of just can't be my favorite just based on that. I played Prophet as well. Prophet was good. I also played Mountain of Mirrors, which I thought was really cool. Though it's kind of silly in some ways. The writing is kind of silly. But the actual just vibe of Mountain of Mirrors is really fun. And I'm thinking about doing a playthrough for the channel on that module. Hello, sir. Hey, what's up? Memo. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Town of Daggerford? Yeah. Daggerford, Daggerfall. Are you a real human being? Yes. I am. Yeah, Kingmaker I thought was okay. I didn't think it was like amazing. Shadowguard, I think I played this one. Hordes of the Underdark is pretty good. It's pretty good for the classic campaigns. For Shadows of Undrentide, I really like the desert location for this one. I thought it was really nice, actually. When you get stopped with the, what's it called? Like caravan, I thought it was really cool. All right, I'm getting the trolls. It's a good sign, right? All right, let's take a look at this. So I thought we would do Witch's Wake here, just because it's short, but I don't know if I want to first make my character. So you can kind of make your character separately, and yeah, and then you could import them into any other module. Some modules will force you to make changes, like let's say the module wants you to be level 5 to 8, and you try to bring like a level 12 character in, it might de-level you, it might do stuff like that. Hey, what's up, Eric? Hey, caught you on my break. Nice, good timing. Ignore Memo, he's dumb. Yeah, all good. Just a little light trolling. Hey, Shpan, I want to tell you, travel options, a soft lock specifically has to do with travel time. By default settings, using travel option makes it impossible to complete certain main quests in time. Oh, that's interesting. That actually makes a lot more sense then. I wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah, now I could kind of understand the in-game logic that's causing that issue. That's so weird. Because I don't know if I don't think side quests work that way, right? If you're using travel options to travel to like a side quest, I don't feel like those usually have that issue with travel options. All right, let's make our character before we bring them into the Witch's Wake campaign. We'll go with a male. I don't remember how hard this campaign is, so I kind of want to make something that's a little bit basic, and I know that's going to get through it. I don't want to die on the stream going through this like story mode thing. I mean, I guess it's okay if we die, but yeah, let's go human so we get that extra feat at level 1. One of the cool things about portraits in Neverwinter Nights is you could bring your own in, of course. And I like using the Icewind Dale portraits. I really, really love these Icewind Dale portraits. I can't think of the artists who made them. I used to know the name. When I did the video covering Icewind Dale, I talked about the artist. But there is something incredible about this artwork. Like the cool tone, just the vibe. And it really captures Icewind Dale's like unforgiving environment and atmosphere. But yeah, this one specifically I always liked. Trolls don't understand that you're actually a necromancer. They know this if they caught the last stream. Got to keep it up. Exactly. Baldur's Gate 2 is greater than everything but Daggerfall. Hey, what's up, Mountain Tour? Yeah, Baldur's Gate 2 is great. I haven't played it in a long, long time now. I do want to revisit it. I think for class, we're going to go... I think we're going to go fighter. We're going to keep it simple. I remember the story is kind of about a soldier. I think it's going to fit well. And I'm kind of getting back into Neverwinter Nights slowly, so let's go with a fighter. Oh, sweet. I didn't know you played Neverwinter Nights 2. Had a level 40 fighter back in the day. Decked out in enchanted gear. Good times. Nice. How's it going, Towel Gaming? Yeah. I have a lot of hours in Neverwinter Nights, but I did take a long break. So I'm kind of just recently getting back into it. It is one of those games I kind of always just come back to, though. Let's go neutral good for this. I think the main story here kind of makes you be kind of good. I don't know if there's that much like role playing. It's really short, this campaign, because it never finished. We don't really need wisdom. And I don't think there's too many, like, conversation checks. Fighter doesn't really need charisma other than that anyway. I think. I don't remember the campaign that well. It would be good to get a +4 to strength. That'd be nice for attribute score. What else could I dump? I probably could dump intelligence, but I like having the skill points. Worth noting that the soft locks are fully avoidable by just not using travel options for those quests or by changing certain travel options, but newbies won't know to do that. Yeah, that makes sense. At least there is like a workaround for people that do want to use both. I love that R2. The intense shadows are great. Very Frazetta. Yeah, it's very Frazetta. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Also, what's the deal with Neverwinter Nights? I don't know much about it. Yeah, Neverwinter Nights is kind of a game where there's a lot of just separate modules or isolated campaigns. I guess I should say self-contained campaigns that people have made. It's very, very modding friendly. BioWare designed it that way on purpose. A lot of tools for players. It uses, I think, 3.5 D&D edition rules. Maybe it's 3rd edition. Maybe someone knows better than me on that. Yeah, Justin Sweet. Yeah, that's right. Love his Icewind Dale portraits too. Yeah, absolutely. Did he also do it for Icewind Dale too? I don't remember. This is the first time I've heard Neverwinter Nights. Can't wait for the Devil Spire stream. Yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah, we'll definitely do some Devil Spire as well. I'll probably play that for the first time on stream, actually. I wonder if I should do it like that. For packages, we can configure our own skills here. There's a couple we could choose from. Class skills cost less to increase, only 1. I guess discipline will be good for fighter here. That'll stop us from getting knocked down or disarmed. Persuade's not a class skill, but I might just grab 2 anyway, just in case the module makes use of it. Tumble is always good for a melee character as well. And we get 2 feats. Actually, we get 3 feats. We get an extra feat for being a fighter and an extra feat for being a human, which is nice. Ever played Dwarf Fortress, the old school, not the Steam version? No, actually. I've heard of the game, though. I heard good things. Hey, what's up, Fifinger? Fifinger on the Twitch chat. How's it going? Neverwinter Nights is basically D&D 3rd edition, but a video game 4. People even make entire online persistent worlds in it, like mini MMOs for roleplay. Yeah, it does have many persistent and active worlds. That's not something I did too much of myself. I always kind of preferred the single-player stuff, but yeah, the persistent worlds kind of function basically like an MMO. And people can make their own worlds. Some are based on like Dragonlance. Some might be based on other D&D settings like Greyhawk or even Forgotten Realms and stuff, just in different areas maybe. But yeah, people could also just make their own unique worlds as well. We'll go with Power Attack first. Do I need Knockdown? What do you think? Could be good. I don't know what weapons will be available to me, so I don't want to... I don't think I'll invest in weapon focus yet. By the way, is the sound okay, guys? Does it, is the game a little too loud or a little too soft? Oh man, this sounds awesome. Yeah. I'm a huge, huge fan of this game. Cleave is also really good. It basically gives you a free strike if you kill something, if it's adjacent within your melee range. And eventually, when you get Great Cleave, it's like the coolest looking animation. You'll just be popping everyone around you. I had a clip of it, like 13 goblins and just real fast hitting all of them. It looks awesome, the animations. Yeah, we'll grab Cleave, I guess. So we got Knockdown, Cleave, and Power Attack are all good. I don't even know what gear is available in this module, though. Doing well, you? Yeah, I'm doing well as well. Most modules in my experience are Forgotten Realms. Yeah, I think that's probably the most popular for sure. Neverwinter 1 is 3.0, Neverwinter 2 is 3.5. Gotcha. Weirdly enough, I've not played Neverwinter Nights 2, which is crazy, because I'm a huge fan of the first one. But I just never got around to it. I do have it, though. And I know that game is really moddable as well. Like, there's huge amounts of cool modules for that. So one day that'll be really cool for me to get into. Alright, I like this guy's face here. I know Pathfinder reasonably well. Maybe Neverwinter Nights will be an easy conversion. Yeah, Pathfinder, if you're talking about the games, like the actual PC games and not tabletop, Pathfinder is definitely more complex in my opinion. both Kingmaker and is that what it's called? Kingmaker? Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous. Is that right? I think that's what it is. Yeah, Pathfinder is probably unmatched in like character building depth for any CRPG. I don't know anything that is as crazy as those games. Cleave and Greater Cleave, trust me on that one. Yeah, Greater Cleave is really, really sick. I had a Blackguard character in one of I think it was Hordes of the Underdark. I think that was the campaign that I used. That really, really fun, and that's kind of a higher level campaign. So yeah, it was really sick. I wonder if the tabletop versions of D&D 3rd Edition favor melee over caster/range like Neverwinter does. Yeah, I don't know actually. I've never really played any tabletop for D&D or anything. So, but yeah, I mean melee is very good in Neverwinter. Pathfinder's like everything in the RPG. Yeah, it's got insane build variety options. Music is a touch loud, but it might just be the main menu music. It probably is actually just a touch loud in general. Let me go to OBS real quick. Thanks, that's actually very useful. How about now? Let me get the chat back up. If I remember correctly, Pathfinder is derived from D&D 3rd Edition, but I haven't played the latter. Yeah, I forgot exactly. I know Pathfinder 1st Edition, I think, is based on D&D 3rd Edition, yeah. But I think 2nd Edition's now come out for Pathfinder. Attack, I say. Oh yeah, guys, you got to hear how amazing these voices are for the characters. Let's make this guy an old soldier. 45. So one of the most hilarious parts of Neverwinter Nights is these classic voice actors. Music's better now? Nice. I haven't played Neverwinter Nights since I got the gold collection decades ago. Oh, yeah. That included all the DLCs, right? Cats are infinitely better scaling than fighters in pen and paper. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of D&D editions are like that, right, in general. Like, usually Martial is kind of stronger early on. And then as casters scale, they just get stronger and stronger at some point. That's kind of what I didn't like about Baldur's Gate 3, in my opinion. And even though that game capped the level, so you weren't even that high of a level, but it felt so silly how strong casters got in that game compared to martial classes. And don't let up. Can you guys hear these voices well? These are so funny. Especially the high-strung evangelist. This guy is burned in my memory. Attack! I say attack! Like a bard option. Get on him! Attack! 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 But Neverwinter Nights has a lot of built-in, like, emotes and stuff like that, because it was meant to be a very social game. A lot of modules were designed with the idea that people would get together with a group, and then someone can actually be the DM, and there's a whole Dungeon Master UI that's available in this game. And with that UI, you can spawn encounters, you can write narrative notes, you can open doors, lock doors, have an NPC steal something, you can go inside the inventories of the players. It's if you haven't seen that before, if you haven't looked at that, you can find a lot of videos online of people DMing. And it's all in real time because you get to control this invisible NPC basically. So it's like you can place invisible enemies or encounters, and then you press a button to kind of make it load in. And it's just extremely cool. And I hope one day we can maybe do it on the channel if enough of you guys play this game. I hear the battle calling. Attack! Time to spill some blood. Now you should taste. These are such nostalgic sounds for me. Attack! Music is better now, I think. That's good. Yeah, it's 2nd edition's own thing. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if there ever will be like another Pathfinder PC game, if they'll go to 2nd edition combat. That would be interesting. I do like the Pathfinder CRPGs, though. They're just, they're really heavy on the buffing and kind of just like building up the stats and stuff like that. But yeah. But there is a lot of like also skill to playing out encounters. Don't just stand there. Get on them. All right, let's go with this guy. This guy kind of sounds like a classic fighter. And something I love about this module, before we get into it, is that it's got some really nice narration voice acting. So I hope the volume and the settings are all good here. I've never seen that. I played in a persistent world a couple times, but put nothing like that. Oh yeah, I'd consider it. Yeah, that'd be cool, Fiffinger. Yeah, there's some really cool videos out there showcasing how it works. Like, live GMing like that sounds intimidating, but awesome. I'd be interested. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And it's something that I can't really think of any other game offering, you know? It's something very special about Neverwinter Nights, because when BioWare made this game, it was really intended to be this like community-driven game where people would get together, connect online with some kind of module, or in person too. You could do it with LAN, and then yeah, have someone DMing. That's crazy. But we would do like short campaigns, of course, and maybe I would like tell everyone this is a 2 out of 5 difficulty or a 4 out of 5, and if we die, we can bring some new players in to try. I don't know. We could figure it out, but maybe someday if the channel grows, of course. Warriors tend to be pretty strong in settings that let you play abnormal races like half giants. Yeah, absolutely. And if you have the PRC, which is the Player Resource Consortium, I think is what it's called, there's a bunch of extra sub races, or just monster races, I think is what they're called. And you can play like centaurs, which have ridiculous starting stats and stuff. But they also have level adjustment penalties. So it might take 3 levels worth of experience for them to get 1 level, because their base stats are just so ridiculously high, because they're much stronger than like a human or an elf, right? All right, let's get into it. This is a little bit of a story type of campaign, so yeah. And I haven't played in a very long time, so I'm kind of wondering how it holds up compared to my memory. All right, let's do it. Oh, I'm in the character creation. I'm not in the actual module. Okay, yeah, so this is what the character creator modules let you do. And this is something really cool about Neverwinter Nights. You can use any module, really, but there's specific ones designed for this, where you create your character. And when I create this character, you can see in the save option, I can make a save here. And this is a save, let's say, like this. This save is specifically for this module. So it's not too useful, right? Because this is just a character creator module. But if you pick save character, you're actually exporting the character into some kind of character selection database. And then when you load up a different module, you can then pull from that list of characters that you exported. So you can see it says your character was exported successfully. So now if we go back to the main menu, now we can load up the official module, which is Wake. We can play it, and you'll see there's create new character or select a pre-made character. I can select the character here, wherever I put him. I got a lot of fake names here because I uninstalled the PRC. Should be... I got so many different Shpan names. Was this the one we just made? I think it was, right? This guy has 4 fortitude instead of 2 here. I wonder why. I think this was it. All right, let's get into it. It might freeze when I bring up the chat like that, but yeah, I got it figured out now. Shpan exists in many worlds with many identities. Even within the same world, I made a bunch of Shpan and Daggerfall characters.
Your eyes open, and you wince at the brightness of the flames about you. The sounds of battle are loud and close, as if buried within your skull. Blood seeps into the cool ground. You realize that it's yours.
I really like this this voice actress that did the narration for this module. Sounds really good. There was that Sword Coast Legends game, which had some sort of DM mode. I didn't play it, so can't say how compared. Oh, that's interesting. Is that the name of it? Sword Coast Legends? I want to check that out, if that's what it's called. Very Unreal Tournament-esque art style? Yeah, it definitely is. I really like the way this game looks, actually. Something about Neverwinter Nights' colors and lighting is just really vibes with my taste. Let's try to move our head here.
With effort, your face turns skyward. The night breeze brushes against your skin, causing you to smile. This might be the most beautiful moment of your life. Your eyes slowly focus on a silhouette above you. You feel a strange calm as you observe the broken body of a man you once called your prince. His eyes, blue and intense, stare into yours. Slowly, the man blinks.
Yeah, so just like any other classic D&D campaign, you'll have your situations where you have to pass certain checks like this. This was a will save, so we got this. It might have been like added an extra dialogue thing here for some more lore or for more storytelling, but otherwise didn't do too much.
Blood pulses from the corner of the prince's lips. His voice is liquid. You must tell the king. He coughs, the pain rolling his eyes back to bear their whites.
Yeah, so the character she's talking about is this impaled guy here who actually just coughed, even though he looks like he should be dead, and said, "You must tell the king." This mid-early 3D style is my favorite. Yeah, it's easily one of my favorites too. And yeah, I don't know, it's just something about the colors and lighting in this game is just really, really pretty. I'll show you some other locations later. Like, really tranquil forests at night just look like absolutely insane in Neverwinter Nights. Yeah, I think it got pulled from Steam. Forget if it came back or not. You might have to do some searching. Interesting, yeah. If that's a name, though, yeah, I'll check that out. Sword Coast Legends, that's really cool. Sword Coast is pretty close. Isn't that the location that's already close to Neverwinter as well? Yeah, I think overall I prefer the more abstract look of 1 and 2. The only exception is that 2 allows a male character to look more like a Strength 10 wizard, where in 1 you'll look like muscle-bound. Despite that, yeah. I guess you'd have to play like non-human races for that, like gnomes and stuff, but yeah. Let's wait for him to continue.
Eyes closed now, his breathing labored. The broken man continues. Tell the king that she is dead.
She? Who do you mean by she?
The prince opens his eyes for the last time, staring into yours. The brilliant blue slowly fades to the color of dull ash. He'll answer no more questions in this life.
You wake with
It's
dawn.
dark and still beneath your lidded eyes. Your head aches, and your mouth is dry and wooden. You lie there, too sore to move. The prince's voice still echoing from across some distant void.
I really like this imagery. Even after the battle here, you can see him in the distance, still impaled, still upright like that.
Suddenly you feel the touch of human hands. They scurry like rats across your body.
Hey, see you, Eric. Thanks for hanging out.
Reach your finger. The breeze fills with a muttered curse and the scrape of metal.
Suddenly we feel the touch of human hands. Should we try to move our hand? Let's go for it. Success. By instinct, your hand obeys. A blade sweeps into the gravel, just missing your hand. You open your eyes to see an old woman crouched over you. I've got me a live one, do I? Not too many of those around here now, are there? The old woman eyes you critically. Welcome back to the land of the living, then? Have you got a name? So it looks like she was trying to cut our finger off with something. It's a good camera angle? Yeah. There's some really good, thoughtful direction, like scene direction in this module. Thankfully still intact, your hand wears the blood and muck of last night's battle. Beneath the grime, your hands are deeply tanned. You notice a pale band around your ring finger, free of tan and dirt. I think this writing is really nice like this. Basically trying to let you know that there was definitely a ring on you before this. So should we confront her about it? My ring is missing. Have you seen it? Let's pretend to not be too confrontational here. You've got fine eyes for a man who had all the look of death not 5 minutes ago. Well, I found plenty of rings today. Can't say I know which one might be yours now, can I? I reckon about half of you wore iron and the others. The woman scowls at the ground. I and some of yous wore gold. There, now and that I told you, you'll probably steal them all. The hairs of your arm begin to rebel against the blood and grime. An iron ring, you remember it. Chaotic fingers dancing around its outer band. Was it yours? It was important somehow. Of that, you're sure. All right. So the iron one is mine. We could be greedy and try to take a gold one from her. It would probably sell for a lot more later. but it seems like there's story significance for the iron one, so let's be honest here. The iron one was mine. Take it then and good riddance to it. Maybe it's worth something where you come from, but I wouldn't be able to get as much as a few coppers for it up in Brogan's arm. You slip the iron ring into your pocket. Brogan's arm? What's that? Brogan's? It be a village of bowed dwarves you'll find through the pass and south a ways. If you made it this far, you must have passed through the arm at some point. What is this place? This place ain't got no name, sir. It's just called the Edge. This here's about as remote a place as places seem to get and as far north as north goes. You not be from these parts, are you? I don't know. I don't think so. Aye, I can tell by the shift in your eyes, the way your cheekbones angle. You're from somewhere south, far south, and making matters worse is the fact that you seem a little short on memories. Well, if I were you, I'd go find the night hag up in the pass and ask her real nicely for her help. The village folk are frightened of her, and rightly so, but she'll know what to do. In the meantime, you can help me scavenge from the bodies of your fallen brethren here. It's a dirty task, but I'll pay you for what you find and give goods in trade if you're interested. I refuse to steal from the dead. How else are you to honor them? Sensing your doubt, she continues. They be your friends once, yes? If your blade a shattered in the battle's rage, would they not have thrown you one of theirs? That's some pretty cool writing, too. If your soul be so duty-bound, then mark that duty well. You live and they lie dead, which means you be the only one left to tell their story. Best not squander that noble trust upon some kobold's blade. So yes, there be the weapons of the fallen. These be the weapons of the fallen. Wield them with pride then, and in the memory of their owners. I be the rag picker. If there be dishonor in this, let me be the one to bear it. Alright, she's convinced me. Point taken, I'll do it in their honor. We'll have to arm ourselves, right? Oh yeah, it's a nice looking sun too. I used to have like an HD override mod for the skies, and it would kind of work in any module, which was cool. Alright, let's check out some of these corpses, see if we can't find some weapons here. And we got our strange iron ring back, which is good. So I've got a crossbow, some bolts. So since we're all wearing the same outfit here, I'm assuming they're all our... on the same side here. We're all the same soldier to whatever kingdom. I really like this music too. Any serious gamer should be used to looting the dead. Yeah, what's up, Barry? She gave me a thoughtful reason as well, so I was convinced. Yeah, there's something really nice about this game's atmosphere, and this song is so good for this moment here.
There, amidst the smoking wreckage of this battlefield, lie the corpses of two women. Is one of them the she the prince referred to? What of the countless other women strewn about you? You breathe a heavy sigh. Somewhere, some woman is dead, and you must tell the king.
Hey, what's up, Anti-Molar? Yes, we got the Abyss stuff working, which is really cool, finally. Shout out to Jet for helping me with that. It was so weird what I had to do. For some reason, the paints and dyes mod needed to be deactivated, and then that still actually wasn't enough to fix it. I also had to change the lighting, because it was completely black, actually, the screen, when I would load into it. But I tested it, it does work. So we'll probably play some of it later today, depending on how long this campaign is. I don't know if we'll even finish the campaign today. Depends. We might just do a little bit of it. I really like how this looks at night, too. Let's put on our strange iron ring here. Yeah, you can kind of already get a sense for how nice the colors and lights are in Neverwinter in this module, even though there's many other prettier scenes I could show you guys. But once it starts getting darker like this, you can already kind of see just how nice it is. So I think there is some crafting that you can do in this module. I don't think my character has any crafting skills. I didn't choose that in character creation, I don't think. Though I think crafting weapons and armor is a fighter class skill.
You shiver in the cold. Snow is beginning to drift around the corpse before you, blood and sweat slowly turning her uniform into a frozen carapace. You're sure of it now. Every last one of them wore black and white, the king's colors, same as you. Steeling your nerves for the dirty task, you approach the dead.
The narration has a really cool vibe in this module. And it's a really sad story. I call this like a tragic module, partly because of the actual in-game story, but also partially because of the outside real-life context of how this module never finished, and a lot of fans were wishing it would. But yeah, I forgot the original creator. I think it was Rob Bartel. And Wizards of the Coast at the time didn't want any module to be outside of Dungeons and Dragons. So they, let's see if we can even fight this. Actually, let me save real quick. I'll do quick saves just in case. I don't know how hard this module is. Okay, we should be okay then. We might take some attack of opportunities here in melee range. Yeah. All right, I might have made a huge mistake. We'll see here. Probably should activate power attack as well. Though, actually... No, I probably shouldn't. Alright, I think we'll be okay. Is this module built into the game? Never played Neverwinter Nights? Yeah, this is one of the official modules. So this actually was made by BioWare, or someone working on BioWare. Unfortunately, though, Wizards of the Coast didn't like that this took place in his own unique world. So he built this setting. It's not connected to anything with Forgotten Realms. And Wizards of the Coast didn't like that, so they... At least that's what I heard. This is the story I've heard. They didn't want BioWare to finish this after the first one was released. This is actually very short. It was kind of like an episode 1. And I heard that actually when Beamdog got the rights, I guess, to make the Enhanced Edition, I heard Rob Bartel actually contacted them. Again, this isn't, I'm not speaking from some kind of inside information here, so I could be wrong about this, but this is just what I heard. Oh, we got a sling here also, and a healer's kit. That's actually really useful. Yeah, I heard that Rob tried to get them to okay his continuing of the story, but I guess it just didn't work out for some reason at the time. And he doesn't have the rights of it anymore because it is still controlled by BioWare. I think this module uses some interesting resting rules where you're not allowed to get your full health. We'll see what happens here. Right, I think they wanted all official stuff to be Forgotten Realms, possibly because of licensing stuff. Yeah, that's what I heard as well. I also vaguely remember the Cormyr one was originally supposed to be Dragonlance, but I might be wrong. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that it turned out that way. And I wonder why they didn't tell them that in the first place before they, you know, closed the book on it. A bit strange, I feel. But yeah. Oh, we didn't actually look at the prince himself here. Let me put my weapon on the bar here. Do we have anything else we can put on this? We got power attack mode. We got knockdown. And built into this game is a lot of, you know, emotes and stuff like that, because it was meant to be very social, you know. So you have these emotes and stuff that you could use with players. And it's very cool to see that in a CRPG like this. Which is why, like, the multiplayer and DM mode stuff is very, very cool. There's other stuff, too. Issuing commands. And this can work for NPCs, but you can also just use these as a quick way. Like, I could, like, guard me. And you could put these on your hotkeys. So, if I wanted to tell my friends to attack things, just, you know, press this. And it's kind of in character, right? So it's very cool. If you like this core game plus officially endorsed modules that come out developed by other devs, I recommend looking at The Quest. It's really good and seems similar. is the quest it's a Neverwinter Nights module, or is that a different game?
Still haunted by the events of last night, you keep a wary eye on Prince Ahmed's corpse. As the battle had raged around you, he said you were to tell the king that she is dead. If only you knew what that meant.
Let's see if the rag picker searched him. Rag picker, did you search this one? The old woman eyes you nervously. That one? No, not I. He already be stripped bare and pierced like that when I laid eyes on him. He's got a noble look, though, don't you think? Let's take his body down from the pike here.
Prince Ahmed's glassy-eyed corpse gazes up at you from the frozen ground. A gaping wound in his chest marks the place where the pike pierced him.
Should we search him, or should we just give him a burial? Let's search him first. He appears to have been stripped clean before being placed on the pike. Whoever did it to him left him with only his loincloth. All right, let's build a proper burial for Prince Ahmed. You gather stones from the rocky ground and begin to pile them up around the prince's broken body. It's long and back-breaking work. As the cairn, is that how I pronounce that, cairn, grows around the body of your prince, you begin to feel very alone. An icy mist is rolling in from the east horizon, and you know it will envelop him. The thought of it leaves you numb. At last, the cairn is complete. The mists grow ever closer, and... Oh, too fast there. So we do have his pike. We're going to grab that. And I guess we'll take a... Is it even an actual usable weapon? It might be. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it is, but it's just a simple spear. So 1d8. Actually, I think spears are not 1d8, are they? Yeah, they are. Okay. Spears have a pretty good critical threat multiplier here. So if we actually do get the crit, it'll be 3 times damage, where a lot of things are 2 times damage. So let's put that on. And put that on our hotkey here.
A rocky cairn has been erected on the spot where Prince Ahmed died. Mists gather around its base.
Think so? Yeah, I think that sounds right. Different game, but similar sort of approach. Old school CRPG made like 15 plus years ago, but outside devs keep making new buyable modules even today, and the game owners endorse them. Oh, that's really sick. I'm surprised I've never heard of this, the quest. Yeah, Neverwinter Nights is just filled with modules made by different people. Ossian Studios made a lot of the more premium modules. The lead writer of Ossian Studio actually also writes fantasy novels and stuff, and some of the stories are pretty good. I didn't feel like any of them were like amazing. Not the actual... I didn't read the novels, just the Neverwinter Nights module stories, I mean. I didn't feel like any of them were too crazy, but I thought they were pretty good for what they were. Rocky cairn has been erected on the spot where Prince Ahmed died. Mists gather around his base. Let's pray for the prince's spirit. You feel at one with the man buried beneath the rock as you pray for his spirit's safety on its journey. As you pray, you experience a strange sensation of the prince somehow doing the same for you. Interesting. Yeah, you'll notice this game has a lot of contextual things, you know? Your character will look down when you're interacting with something that's beneath you. There's a lot of different emotes that are possible. And there's just a very good system of scripts in this game. You know, a lot of scripted events can happen. Yeah, and like mod creators, or module creators, I should say, can make use of all that stuff. And BioWare provided a really great modding tools to make that possible. The quest is also for iPhone. Okay, interesting, yeah. That's pretty cool. I love how Daggerfall has the Android version. That's getting more and more popular these days. Speaking of games you can play on mobile devices like that. Oh, we got a Kama. Kama is really a monk weapon or exotic. If you grab the exotic feat, you could use it. But yeah, monks can just start out using it. It's really a strong weapon. All right, she said she would sell me some stuff.
To watch you search through the belongings of your fallen comrades. She hugs herself in the cold air, apparently too weary from her previous efforts to join you.
It's on Steam and iOS by Redshift Games. Super good. Has Redshift Games made anything else, or is that their only title or biggest title, if you know? All right, I've gathered some items for trade. Her greedy eyes dart over the collection you've managed to acquire. Yes, she coos. Rag picker prices. I don't know if I want to frighten her. I don't want to risk, maybe she's actually like kind of a secretly strong wizard or warlock or something. Let's just request a fair price. Choose a tactic to obtain favor. Interesting. I throw myself at a lovely woman's mercy. Let's try a different approach. Oh no, okay, let's try this again. Please, I'm lost and all alone. Oh, we failed. The old woman stands as tall as her bent spine can muster. I'll not be afraid of you, and you won't have my pity either. It be rag picker prices or nothing at all for the likes of you. That's okay. Let's see what we can sell here. All this stuff basically sells for nothing, huh? And I don't know if any of this is actually... We'll hold on to the magic bottles, maybe, because I don't know what those might be used for. Wands can sometimes be good, too. And we'll keep the holy water. Oh, there's actually a small shield here. Can I use that with a spear? I don't think so. No, okay. We'll still hold on to it in case we find a better item here. I don't think I need the sling. We already got a bunch of ranged weapons here, so I'll also sell the arrows. Choking powder is actually pretty good. This is like a usable that you can use. Does some AoE damage. I think the spell that it uses is Stinking Cloud, is called. We're not going to worry about looting everything. Yeah, but we will hold on to the crossbow, of course. They said they're working on a sequel and some random other stuff, but they've just been doing support stuff for the quest for the last, like, 20 years. Oh, man, that's crazy. It might freeze real quick. I'm just checking OBS here, okay? Yeah, it looks good, I think. Actually, Neverwinter Nights was kind of strange to get working on my stream for some reason. But I was doing local recordings for one of the campaigns I kind of want to do for the channel. But I think it's better now. She actually has a lot of stuff here, but we only have 32 gold. What can we even use? The Prince's Pike is probably going to be better than anything I could buy here, maybe. Though, something like a Warhammer and then using this little small shield might be nice, actually. It might be better than this. 1d8. 1d8. Medium weapon size. This will be large, yeah. I don't actually have any weapon focus, so it doesn't really matter. The greatsword might be really good, too. And halberds are pretty crazy in this game as well. You got the ×3 critical threat and then 1d10, which is nice. Heavy flails have like a slightly larger critical threat range, which is pretty good too. And I kind of like flails. They're pretty fun. How much does that cost? 22 gold? All right, it's kind of greedy, but let's do it. Let's grab the flail. Just for fun. All right, I think we're set. I want to try Neverwinter Nights, but I feel like I should play Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 first. Yeah, I feel like most people would tell you that for sure. Neverwinter Nights, the main campaign, a lot of people don't like. And that's why I titled my video on this game that it was like one of the most misunderstood BioWare RPGs. Let's hit this gong real quick. Let's see what happens.
The gong's call echoes across the frozen battlefield, startling the gathered crows to flight.
Oh, that would have been a way to avoid the crows, huh? That's pretty cool. But yeah, the original campaign for Neverwinter Nights, people really tend to not like. And a lot of people will advise you just to use it as a tutorial. Play like 10 hours of it, but don't complete it. A lot of people will tell you that. There's not much story. There's not much room for role-playing.
The pass opens before you, full of danger and possibility. You make a mental checklist of your scant belongings, hoping you have enough for whatever may lay ahead. These cliffs have the stench of death about them, and a part of you hopes you'll never return to them.
But yeah, I did finish the OC, the original campaign. I didn't feel like it was that bad, but compared to like other BioWare works, it's just not story heavy, and a lot of people don't like that about it. Well, I gotta go. Movie night. I'll catch your Abyss runs on VOD later. Have fun. Thanks, Annie Moeller. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Take care. I wonder if I can use animal empathy. I don't think I have this on a fighter, right? I think a druid would have it. The game's telling me it's challenging because I'm still level 1 on this character. And you can't rest to get all your health back in this module, which is kind of interesting. They use their own resting rules. All right, looks like we got this badger to fight here. All right, good. I wasn't sure how difficult this was going to be, but that's a good sign right there. The wolf pup shouldn't be too bad. Do we want to use power attack? Yeah, let's use it, actually. We'll go for a knockdown as well. All right, this is. I think the fighter was a good choice for this module here. Okay, now we just need some mushrooms and snakes. Yeah. Yeah, so you can have a little map thing here. I think we want to go this way first. Let's head over to the next section here. Yeah, for a lot of the same reasons that I like Daggerfall's atmosphere and mood, I also like Neverwinter Nights' atmosphere and mood. And just general art style and aesthetic.
A quiet sanctity seems to grace this well-tended cemetery, permeating it like the chill mountain mists. Lichens crust some of the older headstones, lending them a dash of pale green color. This is holy ground, and a part of you feels hesitant to disturb it.
Hey, Common Joe, how's it going? I just rediscovering Neverwinter Nights, and it's pretty good. Yeah, I really like it. I've always really liked this game. I know in some ways it can be divisive, especially the actual official campaign that people don't tend to love. But
cold as death itself.
Yeah, one of my favorites this game.
Into unseen depths below.
It's one of those games I kind of just always come back to. We got some kobolds here. I don't know if I should try to rest first, if I can.
You recognize this pennant, the starkness of the black.
Oh, they're coming after me.
You can still remember them from the battlefield, their streaming tatters stained with red. Perhaps someone you once knew is buried here.
Perhaps someone I once knew is buried here. Are you replaying the original campaign, Joe? Oh, there's too many enemies here to rest. Let's try to clear out this space here. I think there's only one more kobold over there, maybe. Somewhere. All right, we can rest now. Good. Yeah, the damage I'm taking after a rest is just some kind of calculation of how this module decides to calculate resting. They don't want you just to be able to rest and get all your health back, so it kind of has some formula. And then if you try to rest again, you'll see, you know, you can try again in 6 minutes. They don't just let you keep resting here. Oh, we got some grave swords here. That's kind of cool. I don't know if we can actually take these, though. Probably not. Oh, yeah, we can, actually. It looks like, I don't know, scimitar maybe or something like that. Kobold, all right. He's got 3 feet on me and a flail. I mean, my mist could take him. Yeah, that's a pretty ambitious kobold for sure. I respect the courage, though. Let's see what this headstone says here.
Much care and attention went into the carving of this stone. The images of fruits and harvests hearken to some distant land. Mother, if only I could bring you back. I pray they do not make you suffer.
Alun Saga, nice. That's a classic for good reason. Is it your first time playing it? Yeah, Alun Saga is a good one. Definitely a Hall of Famer for the player modules. All right, a rusted helm. That should help a little bit too.
Rough and deep into the stone. A message in the common tongue has been engraved below them by a lighter hand. Gunter Blauhart, killed in the battle of Steinfar's Folly.
All right, can we actually equip this one? Let's see. I think we can. Oh, it gives us actually discipline. And a unique power self. Only 2 charges. So I wonder what that'll be. It's been so long since I've gone through like the interface of Neverwinter Nights that I don't remember how to... Oh, I think I can actually just do it like this. Oh yeah, I can. That's cool. So that'll use the whatever ability it has. I think. Actually, it might just... Yeah, okay. Then I right-click on it. I see. Unique power. We'll check that out in combat next time. I did the 3 official campaigns, and apart from Underdark, they didn't impress me. Yeah, that's a common sentiment. I don't think anyone really loves the original campaign. It might be BioWare... Honestly, it might be BioWare's worst official campaign in any of their CRPGs. In my opinion. I haven't played all of BioWare's stuff, but I played a lot, and gotta go now. Have a shopping trip I need to do. See ya, Fiffinger. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. But yeah, the original campaign just does not have much role-playing opportunities. It's very long, very grindy, a lot of combat, very little dialogue options and stuff like that. So, and the story itself is just kind of, you know, I guess like basic fantasy fare. Nothing too special about it, honestly. Looks like we got a book here, the Night Hag's Tome. This heavy tome, stolen from the Night Hag's desk, is bound in a strange, oily leather. The text inside is of no language you can recognize, and what few pictures you can find seem to be of senseless, though vaguely humanoid shapes. Do we want to steal this? Yeah, let's take it.
Her eyes a milky white against her pale green flesh, the Night Hag stares at something unseen upon the table, seemingly oblivious to your presence. She seems young and attractive, not like a hag.
Hey, what's up, Keaton? Hey, good to see you play this gem. Yeah, first time streaming it on the channel here. I'm replaying an old module, Witch's Wake. I don't really remember too much about it anymore, but I remember at the time thinking it was cool. I like the atmosphere. I like the story that it was setting up. Unfortunately, this never finished, though, so it's very short.
She's there before you, her white eyes piercing deep into your soul. So it's you the fate sent back to me, is it? They could have done worse, I suppose.
And the voice acting is pretty good, in my opinion. A lot of the narration's nice. The prose is pretty good. How do you know my name? I've known you for a long, long time, Lord Shpan. We've been through a lot together, you and I. When last you came here, neither of us expected you'd live to see today. When did I last come here? The Night Hag puts her fingers to her lips. Hush, she whispers. These are things of which I would rather not speak. You are here now. That is what matters. I was told that you can help me. More than you realize, Shpan. First, however, I must tell your fortune. From a fold in her robes, the Night Hag produces a deck of painted cards. She draws 5 of them and splays them out before you. Hey, I recently played the original campaign with a friend who played a sorcerer while I tanked as rogue cleric. It was actually more fun than playing it alone. Hey, what's up, Snake? Yeah, absolutely. That's a common thing for Neverwinter Nights. I feel like it's very fun in multiplayer, and it really elevates the experience for a lot of modules, but especially the original campaign since it's so focused on combat. I know a lot of people don't like the original campaign. It's kind of long, I think, and there's not too many role-playing opportunities, but yeah, if you do it in multiplayer, it is pretty fun. It's cool to see someone else in the stream that's played this game. I always like seeing that. I was thinking maybe someday on stream I would DM some multiplayer module for everyone. That could be fun. But yeah, it's very fun to play the original campaign on with multiplayer with a friend or something like that. But it is very long, unfortunately. A lot of the other sort of multiplayer modules that are in like the DM recommended on the Neverwinter Vault, they're pretty short, I think. So they're kind of good for streams, short sessions. Yeah, the original campaign were made with multiplayer in mind. Yeah, it makes sense. I think a lot of what BioWare did when designing Neverwinter Nights was with multiplayer in mind. That's why we have so many of these, you know, social emotes you can do, and you can make these little quick communication things on your hotbar. This hand, the Night Hang intones, is spun from the very past you have forgotten, and will tell you more of it than any mortal can. It is called the Warlock's Hand. Now draw. Draw a card from the Night Hag's hand. You draw a card depicting a man, hunched over amidst a heavy storm. He holds a feeble lantern high, his eyes frightened by the tortured shapes just beyond its glow. Ah, says the Night Hag, you have drawn the child of fear. The person you used to be did what he did because a great terror gnawed upon his soul. The painted card feels soft and well-worn, its edges frayed. Keep it so you might remember what it is that drove you here. She draws another 3 cards from the deck. This hand, the Night Hag whispers, is spun from the silky substance of the future. It speaks of what is destined yet to be. It speaks of what is destined yet to be, and is known as the Witch's Hand. Now draw. Draw a second card from the Night Hag's hand. You draw a card depicting a man sitting cross-legged atop a wall. He holds the moon in one hand and the sun in the other. A golden chalice is suspended in the air above him. Hi, Shpan. Still having fun watching your videos? You're my new hero. Hey, what's up, Zavi? That's kind of you. Thank you. That always makes me happy to read comments like that. That makes the videos and all the work I put into it even more worth it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm working on, actually, speaking of that, I'm working on another mod compilation video for some of the new content that's been coming out for Daggerfall. There's just been so much of it that I don't think I can do all of them in like individual mod showcases. So the plan, I think, is to do like a kind of just random mod compilation video, and it'll just cover a lot of the big releases that happened recently. I'm thinking I might wait until the end of August to do it, just because I know there's going to be a new vampire overhaul mod coming out, and I kind of want to add that to the list when I do that video. You've drawn the Fool Shpan. You are cursed to see the world through a keyhole. When you act, you will act without knowing the full implications of your decisions. Then let that be your fortune, the Night Hag advises, setting aside the remainder of the deck. She pulls a strand of white hair back from her face. Surely you must have some questions. Okay, so what does my fortune mean? Only you can know for sure, Shpan. Fortunes are slippery things and best left unpondered. Their meaning shifts with every breath and are made clear only with time. What is important is that you have one now, for to wander the wilderness without a map is to invite disaster. Alright, enough about my fortunes. The Night Hag smiles at you. Do not worry yourself about them, Shpan. There's enough in this world to worry about without them. What more do you need me to do? Aren't you the eager pupil? From her expression, it's hard to tell whether she is pleased by your eagerness or not. Well, it's time I taught you how to keep your soul from the demons when you die. When I die? Yes, when you die. Her pale green face floats before you, seeming almost childlike and innocent. Your soul is from Stygia and wants to return there. The lords of Stygia have made it so. And you have a way to prevent this? The Night Hag breaks into a smile. Her cold hands grab your own. I can protect you from the Stygian lords, at least for a little while. In the north room, you'll find a writhing mass of dark energy. It's an ethereal leak, a place where the barrier between the land of the living and the land of the dead has worn thin. Go to it, let its tendrils have their taste of you, and then return to me. I will show you how it is that I intend to protect you from the demons of Stygia. Alright, do we trust her? I don't know if we trust her.
This headstone is not yet fully engraved. Stone chips lie scattered about the floor, intermingling with the arcane symbols traced in sand. A chill goes up your spine as you brush away some of the dust.
From beneath your fingers emerge the words, "Here lies the human fighter Shpan, dead to us forevermore." The text trails off, the remainder still to be carved. Alright, we got a headstone for ourselves already.
Negative energy streams through a tiny fissure, escaping into this world from the plane of sorrows.
But the tendrils wash over you. You feel an icy touch as the tendrils of energy curl around your legs and torso. You could feel them twisting inside you, drinking your soul. Alright, I think she wants us to talk to her again here. I wonder if I can rest here safely now without taking rest damage afterwards. I don't know if that's just kind of built into the module anytime you rest, or if it's about safe places. It might just be safe places. You get the full health from. Actually, I did still take some damage, but not too bad. I think it's a dice roll for that. It probably has something to do with your ability score for Constitution, which I have at a 2, which is okay, I guess, for a level 1 character.
The night hag nods approvingly. The leak knows you now, and I will be able to use it to help you return to the land of the living. If you find more in your travels, be sure to let them taste you as well.
Your streams tend to be around 3 hours. Do you think you're going to do the whole campaign in this stream? Yeah, I'm not sure. This campaign is probably around 3 hours, honestly, so I don't think I'll do all of it. I kind of want to do some of the Daggerfall Abyssal Dungeons now that I got it finally working. But, yeah, I'm not sure right now. I'm kind of slow, too. I feel like it's probably 3 hours for most people, maybe a little longer for me. But yeah, the Abyssal Dungeons, I did test it. It's definitely good to go now. It'll be a little dark on stream, so I might try and change the effect settings on Unity. Maybe I can, like, make the light sources a little stronger or something, I don't know. But I think I can't make it any lighter through the actual on-site procurement mod, because I think I have it to the lowest now. But yeah, if anyone has that issue where your Abyssal Dungeons look completely dark when you load up a roguelike run, just try turning down the darkness all the way to the bottom in the mod settings. She becomes grave as she considers her words. There are no leaks through the past. I'm sorry, you must be mistaken. As you know, you were gravely injured and under great duress. No, there was an entire sea of them. We saw them in the opening cutscene here. Then there's the proof that you're a fool. To see so many would mean the barrier has sundered completely. Besides, were they still there when you awoke? Enough of your tall tales, Shpan. Where will I be returning from? The land of the dead is a vast place, far larger than the world that we call home. If you descend to Stygia, I doubt that I can pull you back. But there's a domain above it called the Plane of Sorrows. The night hag runs her cold fingers down your face. I have some power there, enough to catch your soul as it descends. Enough to draw you back through a leak that knows you. She grabs your hand within her own. It feels like you are clutching death. Come, we will travel there. I will show you and explain more once you are there. Alright, lead the way. Very well, but do not be surprised if you do not see me when you arrive. I'll be waiting for you by the leak, but will project my thoughts to you whenever I can. As the night hag speaks, the floor of her home begins to fade away. You experience a sense of falling through, though you can feel no wind. Around you come the moans and cries of fellow souls. You close your eyes.
You are surprised to find yourself standing on solid ground again. You still feel as if you are floating. Far below you, you can hear the flow of water and distant screams. The depths of Stygia, you presume. Though you cannot see her, you can hear the night hag's voice inside your head. You stand on the Isle of the Dead. The sounds below are those of the river Styx, which flows ultimately to Stygia.
Yeah, this is kind of a nice example of how the lighting and shadows look in Neverwinter Nights, and how they can be really atmospheric and heavy, and the vibe can be really nice like this. It helps to have good music like this module's theme. But yeah, very pretty. I always felt like Neverwinter Nights aesthetic. And their color design, lighting design. Kind of reminds me a bit of why I like Daggerfall as well, for similar reasons, for sure.
Lost souls will occasionally come to this island as it lies at the border of my domain. They will be unable to pass through the gates you see before you, but you may speak with them if you wish. Some of these lost souls may still cling to virtue, petitioning you to perform some noble deed. But death changes the hearts of men. Many are but vengeful spirits, intent on wreaking havoc in the world. Remember, they cannot hurt you in this place, nor can you hurt them. You are safe here in my care.
Let's see what this dwarf has to say here. I should probably save real quick in case I get into a
Pale
fight.
and wispy, this ghostly dwarf bears a horrible gash down his left side. His entrails dangle from the broken bridge into the vast darkness below. The uniform he wears is all too familiar to you.
Shpan, he barks, his voice gruff and dry. Thank the gods you've come, ye be in grave danger, lad. What kind of danger am I in? He eyes you warily, then spits into the void. Beware the night hag, you hear? She's not to be trusted. And trust you instead. The dwarf seizes you within his meaty hands. Don't be a fool. Prince Ahmed never died. Within their ghostly sockets, the dwarf's eyes are manic. You can feel his dangling entrails press against you. He's dead, I should know. I buried him. He reels back, shocked. Liar, lies. Get away from me, ye hound, away. He seems in a panic, as if suddenly terrified by your presence. Alright, let's try to pacify the dwarf. Ooh, looks like we pass the difficulty check. Clutching his stomach, he eyes you wildly. Oh wait, that was just that was letting me know there would be an attempt. Okay, now it's the actual roll. It's a DC 12. Maybe I was mistaken. Everything's alright. So we're gonna try to lie to him, I guess. Oh, we failed. The ghostly dwarf becomes increasingly agitated. He begins to froth at the mouth, and every time you approach, he snaps out to bite you before some unseen force pulls him back. Alright, we're gonna have to leave him be then. Yeah, maybe you kind of do want to play a character that has kind of better at persuading and bluffing and some other skills like that. Maybe a rogue is better for this playthrough.
The night hag's voice, soft and confident, returns to you. This is a tree of life. I planted it here long ago, and it is what gives me my power in this place. Its roots descend all the way to the Styx below. You need only touch its branches, and it will grant you passage from this island back over the river Styx. You feel the air about you shift and change. Through the door before you lies the Filcher's Labyrinth. It is a part of the barrier I spoke of earlier, a final bulwark against lost souls. The Filchers are mindless denizens of the barrier. They pose no threat to you save their insatiable curiosity and greed. If they draw close to you, they will attempt to steal your belongings. You may attempt to fight them off or retrieve your belongings from their treasure piles. If you destroy the Filchers, however, more will arrive. They will pursue you for as long as you wander the barrier. You are lucky. Only one Filcher is present now. Word of your passage through the barrier will spread, however, and more will be waiting for you each time you traverse this path. Be aware, too, that the barrier is a constantly shifting place. What the filters steal from you today may be long gone when next you return. Leave behind only what you are willing to never see again. Now pass through the door and enter the barrier. I will be waiting for you at the end of the labyrinth. They will not be able to reach you there. Good luck.
Kind of nice that there's this much voice acting in this. I don't have to read as much. And it's pretty good. I think the performances are kind of strong in this module, actually. There's other modules with pretty good voice acting as well. Kind of done by the community a lot, which is a cool concept. Vox was just saying this the other day with his Necromancer mod, how his friends had fun making the voices for a lot of the characters. I'd love to see that more often. Like custom voice acting from mods in Daggerfall or any game in general. Do they ever state directly that this campaign takes place in Faerun? Hey, what's up, Breg? I think they did directly state that it doesn't take place in Faerun, actually. Which is kind of interesting. It's part of the reason I think that it never finished, actually. Wizards of the Coast at the time wanted to keep everything within the Forgotten Realms universe. And the author of this module, I think his name was Rob Bartel. I'm pretty sure this was his own world that he crafted for this. So, yeah, that's a big reason why it never finished, unfortunately, which is really sad. I know this is like a big fan favorite for a lot of people. And interestingly enough, he, when Beamdog got, I guess, the rights to make the Enhanced Edition for Neverwinter Nights, I heard that he tried to contact them to finish this story, actually. And I guess they couldn't come to an agreement for some reason. I don't know if it's because either Wizards of the Coast or BioWare held onto the rights. It's possible something like that was the issue. But that would have been so many years that he would have returned to the story. I'm sure he was sitting on it for so long. It probably was really going to be interesting and good. You know, he had years and years to think about how he wanted the story to go. And this is just such a heavy story module where the vibe was interesting and the music was good, voice acting was good. So, yeah, it's sad that it got canceled like that so quickly. Welcome to the Plane of Sorrows, Lord Shpan. It has become a home away from home for me over the years, and perhaps with time, you'll come to see it in the same light. How many people have you helped like this? She turns from you and gazes out over the vast expanse. As many as I have graves in my cemetery, sadly, not all of them have made it. I met a ghost named Morius back there. The mist thins around her, Morius. And what did he say? And what did he have to say? She becomes perfectly still, poised for your answer. He warned me not to trust you. The night hag relaxes. In your situation, Shpan, I'm afraid I am the only one you can trust. Who else will save you from the pits of Stygia? Who else will tell you what it is that you must do? She raises a thin white eyebrow. Was there anything else? He doesn't believe Prince Ahmed is dead. She tenses briefly, then exhales. Her breath is white like the mist. Dying is a transformation. Some do not make it with their full heart and mind intact. Morius wishes that your prince could still be alive and in the world above. Don't you wish the same, Shpan? But wishing will not make it so. Morius will likely cling to that belief for all eternity. Did he say anything more? Nothing of importance. All right then. She seems pleased to move on to more pleasant topics. It's time to go, Night Hag. She looks around her longingly. Yes, I suppose it is. You have everything back from the filter that you will need. Yes, I've left nothing important behind. Good, now listen to me, Shpan, this is important. Protecting you like this is hard for me. If you die too often, I'll not be able to return you to the land of the living where you belong. I've done this once for you so you can know what to expect and not be frightened. I can only do it 3 times more and then I must rest to regain my powers. Do not forget that. She claims her hand, her fingers entwining themselves with yours. Come, let us return you to where you belong. Speak with me there that I might advise you. All right, so I guess that was kind of ground rules for the campaign. You get 3 deaths, I guess. But it's so short anyway. I heard this was supposed to be a 5-part campaign, and this was only part 1, of course. But yeah, I guess you would have had 3 lives in total.
A sad smile on her pale green face, the night hag watches you approach. She waits for you to speak, her delicate fingers brushing back and forth across a knot in the table's wooden surface.
Let's ask her what's the matter. Her fingers stop atop the wooden knot. Nothing, Shpan. Last time I saw you off, I didn't think that you'd be back. And now you are, and here I am, getting ready to say goodbye all over again. We were friends, weren't we? You mistake me for some other sort of monster, Shpan. Her hand flies up to dab at her eyes. I used you then, and I'm using you now, that is all. It's best you don't forget it. You mentioned something about goodbye. The night hag straightens, suddenly intent. There's someone you need to meet in Brogan's arm. He'll be able to tell you things that I cannot. What's his name? Don't worry, you'll know him when you see him. A coy smile creeps across her face. He wears the king's uniform, after all. That's this, white uniform we got on right here. Then I'd best be on my way to see him. Smiling her same sad smile, the night hag nods. Brogan's arm lies south of here, past the cemetery gate. There'll be dangers along the way, especially from the kobold tribes. The man you're looking for will be hard to find. Seek the Kavanaugh Stone, however, and you will not fail. Here, this is a key to the cemetery gate, should it be locked for you. Seek the Kavanaugh Stone? Fine, I'll do it. The night hag's eyes, cold and white, seem to drink you in, memorizing your shape and bidding you farewell. Will you be needing any more supplies for your journey? Yeah, we'll take a look, actually. I'll probably do a little shopping. Such a creative death mechanic. I like that you kind of gamble your possessions to be potentially stolen. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And, I don't know too much about what the author had planned. I've read some comments online, some people talking about it. And, yeah, where the story was going to go was going to be pretty cool. And it was going to be much larger in scope than this first episode. This first episode is kind of like a tutorial, I guess. And then, it was going to open up into a pretty semi-open world. Similar to how the, Daggerford module works in this game. That's another premium module. And, yeah, I think it was going to be pretty ambitious like that, but, yeah, unfortunately it did not end that way for us. We got no gold, though. I don't think we can even afford anything. We could probably pick up... Yeah, we can't even grab a single... Oh, some of this stuff we could sell. Okay, that's good. She doesn't buy stolen goods. Okay. We're definitely not going to sell the Prince's Pike. These choking powders, I'm actually probably going to put it on my hotkey bar here because they're pretty strong. And caltrops can also be good in this game. I guess I'll hold on to the small shield in case we find a better one-handed weapon. But yeah, we have no gold, so I don't think we can afford much. Alright, let's head out the way that she was talking about here.
This boulder has cracked in the cold. You think you might be able to scale it and reach the plateau above, though you'd hate to fall from that height.
I would love to see some Daggerfall mods that incorporate these kind of difficulty checks into the actual world. You know, like maybe you come across a dungeon and there's a little interactive part on the wall, and it might say, like, this wall here feels more flimsy than the other surrounding walls. And then you could attempt to maybe use a check on your strength or your endurance or something like that. And then if you pass it, you can teleport to another location in the dungeon. Something like that could be really fun, I think. I know, like, skill checks is not really a part of Daggerfall's, like, DNA. But, well, not in this way, at least. But I thought it'd be cool. All right, let's try to climb this. We got pretty good strength skill modifier. All right, we got up. All right, you haul yourself up to the grassy knoll above. This might be like a shortcut to save us some encounters from the kobolds, I'd guess. I can already see some running around. Or I guess there could be loot up here.
This hunched creature overlooks the grounds below. You spy a hand-shaped indentation on its haunches, the palm deeply etched with an intricate design.
A strange sensation travels up your arm as if the statue is seeking a certain kind of magic in you and not finding it. Interesting. We are a pretty martial build here, no magic really, so... I don't know if that was like a hidden skill check. Alright, let's go back down then.
This resilient shrub provides a reliable handhold for you to climb down to the rock below.
Haven't played the premium modules because of my version, but in there are some amazing free ones. Yeah, there's a ton of really nice ones that they added. The Enhanced Edition came with a lot of free premium modules, actually. But there's actually still some that were paid. And because of that, I still don't have... I think it's called Doom of Icewind Dale. That's a very recent one. It's kind of funny that there was such a recent new module for Neverwinter Nights. I guess it was like a year or two ago. I'm not exactly sure when it released. But yeah, very, very recent, which is awesome. I'm not sure who made it. It might have been Ossian Studios again or something, because they made so many of the premium modules, but I'm not sure. Oh man, this kobold just got sheesh. That was brutal. I think we want to go this way here. Neverwinter Nights is a gold mine for potential just as a template alone. Absolutely, yeah. And that gold mine has really paid off. There's just so much good player-made content out there. Some people's favorite games are a module, which is so cool. Man, look at this dark blue, purplish color of this area. It's just so, so pretty. There is kind of something similar to Dynamic Skies. That's an override mod for Neverwinter Nights. But since I've reinstalled the game, I kind of removed all the mods like that, so I don't think it's active right now. Although the sky still does look pretty, even with the original graphics. Alright, let's see if we can hit this guy with our crossbow here. Oh, I got a level up too. I didn't realize that. That's going to help a ton. Hey, we got him. My favorite is Swordflight. Has a bumpy start, but it's a great adventure. Yeah, Swordflight is a classic. Absolute classic. I think that's on the Hall of Fame list. And for good reason, too. Although it's been a while since I played that, but I have good memories of it. We might dip into Druid a little bit later if this module lasts that long. I don't know what level you get to in this mode, but we might multi-class here. I feel like parry is very weak in this game. I kind of wish it was a little different, functioned a little bit differently. Parry and counterspell are surprisingly weak from what I remember. I guess we'll hold on to our last 2 remaining points until the next level. We get another feat at level 2 on Fighter? That's crazy. Fighter gets so many feats. We could go weapon focus now and grab the flail. Maybe. Actually, let's cancel this. I want to see exactly what this weapon's called. This is a heavy flail. Okay, let's do that. So weapon focus, heavy flail. I've always been a fan of flails for fighter classes. D&D 3rd edition has ups and abysmal downs, yeah, for sure. I feel like, yeah, this is definitely not the combat system for everyone. Though I love how Cleave just activated there. I think that attack of opportunity was because of Cleave. I love the way that looks. But yeah, I know some people don't love this combat system, though I guess that's kind of the case for a lot of older RPGs. Not everyone's going to love it. And especially because Neverwinter Nights is really kind of focused on mostly, there's a lot of solo modules, or you only have like one companion, and you can't actually usually control those companions, right? So like if you play, I guess like Icewind Dale or Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, but I guess Icewind Dale doesn't use 3rd edition, right? Icewind Dale uses like 2.5 or something. But any of the Infinity games, really, because you're controlling a huge party, there's a lot more variety in how the game feels. And pausing and tactically making choices, I think feels a lot better in a party-based real-time with pause game. Even like the recent Pathfinder games or something, right? Those still feel, I think they'll feel a lot more dynamic for people than Neverwinter Nights combat will. But despite that, I kind of like that Neverwinter Nights is chill. You know, it's not the most strategic combat all the time. It's a lot about building the character to perform and the stats and stuff like that, of course. But yeah, I still enjoy it a lot. We might die here, actually. We got one hit left in us here. All right, let's load this. All right, we got to watch out for these zombie warriors here. We might have to use our caltrops. Or we kind of want them to be distracted by the kobolds. We could also do that, right? Oh, we missed our cleave. All right, we barely survived that fight. Is this any good for us? Base armor 3, maximum dexterity bonus. We're not going to have that high of a maximum dex bonus on a fighter, I don't think, but that's still better, I think. I don't think we were actually wearing anything that has any armor value. Maybe this has 1. Actually has 0, so this is much better for us. Nice. That should already help a decent amount. Oh, this is also pretty good, a large shield. Maybe I should not have gone with the two-hander then. Because we got a club here and we had a shield. That would have been very nice. But I think we already are kind of locked in here. Throwing axes are pretty good too. Let me put these on our hotkey here. We also got holy water, so we could do good damage to these undead guys. All right, maybe we can safely rest here. Let's see. That's a pretty bad hit of damage at the end of that rest there. But that's all right. Now we got a little bit of armor, so I feel like we'll be decently okay against this stuff. Yeah, I love watching Cleave proc like that. It's so satisfying. I think we can't grab this thing here. Though we're probably supposed to be able to. Just the way it spawned, maybe, or something. That's alright, we'll come back to it if we need it. I want to put my standing desk up real quick. I think I mentioned it last time, but yeah, if you play a lot of games or game for a long time, these standing desks are a lifesaver. All right, much better there. All right, I don't think there's another path this way, so I think we'll just keep going here. We got another one of those zombies. I don't know if we want to fight that again. Pretty dangerous, it feels like. But we might have to. They're kind of slow, though, honestly. We probably can run from them. Beautiful environment? Yeah, absolutely. I just love the colors in this game, too. But yeah, this place looks awesome. I can't remember which module had the, like the thick forest. Oh, I took a ton of damage there. The thick forest with like the leaves falling. I gotta go through some of my old save Neverwinter Nights stuff and take a look at that again. Cause I used that clip when I made the video a long time ago for Neverwinter Nights, and yeah, I kind of want to replay it just for that location again. Oh, it looks like there was another path here. That's interesting. So this was... yeah, that's the cemetery. Ah, Brogan's Arm. Okay, this was where we're supposed to go, I think. I don't remember so many paths in this game. Or this module, I should say. Could also go through this route here. Let's see if we can bash this down. This song playing right now is another very classic Neverwinter Nights song. It's not just for the module. I was laughing when you said in your Neverwinter Nights video that you like the graphics look, but this module is flipping beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I know. People say the same thing about Daggerfall for me sometimes. Yeah, this module is very, very pretty, though. We might not be able to break this, I think. Nah, if we got a crit like that and we didn't break it, no way. Let's see if there's something down this path here. We got more kobolds here. Yeah, there's definitely a path here as well.
The battle is on.
Most of the stuff kind of sells from 1 gold, so I don't think we're going to pick up everything. The graphic style still looks bad to me, but this is a good example of how clunky graphics can be pretty too. Yeah, for sure. If you got the talent to make some of these work, you could still make this stuff very pretty. But yeah, I know this is definitely not going to be for everyone. That is, that's definitely not going to be everyone's style, this look. Oh man, we're dead. Oh, we actually got a crit there? That's sick. That was lucky. All right, hopefully we roll a little better on this rest here. We could use decent health here. Like a -4 would be good. -10 again? Oh man, that's not good. Heavy metal ring dangles from a well-worn rope just out of the kobold's reach. Let's pull the ring. Reach up and seize the heavy ring. With some effort, the rope pulls taut and you... Is that called taut? Is that how I say that? And you hear the release of a heavy latch release on the far side. Okay. Color and aesthetic tone outweigh the polygons? Yeah, definitely. That's definitely how I feel about it. But, you know, I have seen some people comment, like, they just can't play a game that looks like this for some people. Oh, this rain looks nice, too. We might be able to get a safe rest in this area if this town's actually functioning. I'm not sure if it's a real town or not. Oh yeah, there are some NPCs here. This is looking
The heavily muscled dwarf gnaws at his lower lip as he pounds the anvil. Sensing your presence, he turns to face you. What do you want? He scowls.
Your font looks good, by the way. Is that a mod? No, this is yeah, this is just what I did do though. It's not a mod, but you can kind of expand the text a little bit in the settings. I think it's called UI scale or something like that. So it's just a little bit bigger and easier to read. But now this is just the normal font here. Are you the local blacksmith? The man's lip hangs limp and swollen from his face. Yo, he grunts. You notice that his right eye has some sort of tick constantly darting inwards. May I see your stock? Points you in the right direction, gesturing dismissively. The dwarf's lower lip returns to its toothy cage as he begins to hammer once more on the anvil. His left eye continues to watch you. Yeah, so there is a decent amount of shopping I guess you could do here, but everything sells for so cheap. We're going to hold on to our King's armor, because that's kind of our like outfit for our faction, I guess. Maybe we'll need it for some story reason or something. I don't know. Don't need the short bow anymore. But I'm going to hold on to the crossbow, I think. All this stuff just sells for nothing. Oh, so its font size looks way better? Yeah, it's much, much nicer like this. It's kind of hard to read, like the default font, honestly, in Neverwinter Nights. I'm surprised this isn't default. Because even this isn't that big, I don't feel like, so it's kind of surprising. But maybe because I guess with the Enhanced Edition, it was kind of showing the original look or something, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird how nothing sells for much, and this stuff is super expensive. At least you can get whatever base weapon you want for 1 gold. That could be kind of nice, I guess. Maybe not any of them. This one's 30. I kind of regret going 2-hand right here. We don't need concentration. We're not casting anything. Yeah, I think with 58 gold, we'll have to come back later or something.
Blast that elf. Are ye sure the stone be gone? Mayhaps it fell and skittered into some dark corner we cannot find. The Kavanagh stone be gone, gentlemen, and Brogan's honor with it. Stolen by the foreigner. Aye, it be him. He's hidden it somewhere. Quiet! Keep your voices down, lest the whole town learn of what's gone on.
I didn't realize this module actually had like a proper town like this. I have a memory of it being a lot shorter. But yeah, it's kind of interesting here. That means I probably could rest, but I would bet that most of these doors you can't actually enter, maybe. Oh, we can enter this one, though.
The guild hall seems cluttered and claustrophobic. Beaded with sweat, the older woman before you fusses about the dust and occasionally helps herself to a drink from the ale kegs in the corner.
I thought this game was 3D isometric. This looks third person. Yeah, you could play it in third person. There is a camera angle for isometric if you prefer that. But yeah, I kind of like the third person view here. If this game, if you controlled party members, then I think I'd prefer isometric. But Neverwinter Nights, you don't actually ever directly take control of any kind of companion. So you're always just your main character in Neverwinter Nights. But you can get party members, of course. But even then, you usually only get 1 or 2. Some modules you get 3, and it feels like a proper party, but yeah.
You finally catch her attention. If ye be looking for the council, she slurs, they be down at the barrow all night and day, dealing with the kerfuffle there.
What kind of kerfuffle? It's more immersive than isometric for sure. Yeah, I really prefer this, actually. Especially in a game where you're just controlling one character. It kind of reminds me a little bit of how Dragon Age Origins handles it too, which I also kind of like the perspective for. Especially, I guess, also because these games are 3D, right? It probably would have been a little weird in some of the older Infinity Engine games to try and accomplish this look. Goodness knows, the woman exclaims, the council be like a clutch of geese some days, squawking one to the other. Be something to do with the Kavanaugh Stone is all I know. Have any strangers been through town lately? Aye, we get a few wandering this far north occasionally. Some be lost, some come for a purpose. In yesterday's council meeting, there was talk of a company of soldiers passing through. I heard them pass by me shutters, but they never stopped in to see the exhibits. Except for the one fellow, perhaps he was with them. If so, he stayed behind to chat with me after the others left town. That one fellow, tell me about him. The old woman's eyes glaze over in the memory. He was a charmer, he was, even for an elf. She chuckles to herself. I let him in for half price. He said he was here for the Kavanaugh Stone. He was wearing armor, the leather's all polished to white on black, the rivets gleaming golden in the lamplight. I can't say I've ever seen anything quite like it before or since. The elf stayed upstairs in the exhibit hall all night, and I must have been sleeping when he left because he was gone by morning when I went up to dust. Can I see the exhibits? I suppose I can do that for ye. She nods. The council keeps them up there so the clan always remembers where it is they come from. It costs 50 guilders for folks outside the clan, but if ye be as sweet as the elf, I might let ye in for half that. Do I even have 50 gold? I feel like I don't. Okay, I do, actually. Dragon Age Origins was awesome. I never played any of its sequels, though. I heard it fell off already in the sequel. Yeah, I really like Dragon Age Origins also. I like the voice acting. I like the vibe. I like the companions. They were cool. Really funny and well-written, like, companion banter that really helped just, I don't know, build that fellowship vibe. Yeah, the sequels, I really did not like them. I played Dragon Age 2. I thought it was not good for me, personally. And Inquisition, I couldn't even play more than, like, 8 hours. I thought it was not good. Some people like Inquisition, though. I just felt the combat was really not fun. And kind of weird. It felt like a bit of, like, one of those single-player MMOs. At least the first area. It's just a bunch of strange side quests that didn't have much narrative content. And I don't really like the characters when I was playing, at least so far from it. But yeah, Origins is a great game, I feel like. I love that game. All right, let's try to obtain some favor. Let's get in for half price. My charisma is so low. I feel like I'm going to fail on both these. Please, my interest exceeds my purse. The old dwarf cackles at your plea. Your interest exceeds your purse, and your purse exceeds your intellect. I'd be wise on you, charmer. It'd be 50 guilders and nothing less. All right, let's do it. The old woman pockets your coins and nods towards the stairwell. Go on up then. But don't you make a mess of the exhibits. The council may have them warded, but I still have to clean them. Gotcha. Origins was the evolution of Neverwinter Nights, and the modding scene is still going strong. Oh yeah, is it really? I haven't checked much of the Origins modding, but I was enjoying it so much, even when I finished it, that I downloaded a mod that was like a challenge dungeon boss, and I thought it was so cool. I think I actually saved footage from it. I probably could even make like a small short or video on it someday. But it was such a sick fight. It's like 2 different paths go all the way down, and there's some kind of lich at the end or something. And from the entrance, which is all the way like in a long hall back the other way, a fire continues to push forward as the fight goes on, basically timing you to fight it. And it's just such a sick fight. You'll end up like getting pushed all the way back to the door by the end of it as the fire closes in. And it's like a race to get the last couple percentage off. It's awesome. Yeah, the modding I thought was really cool. There was also like a player home kind of mod, right? It was separate from the camp, but actually gave you a house, which I thought was crazy. And it's so weird for Dragon Age Origins to have that, but it fit really nicely. Origins had a great hook factor to get you invested. I thought the sequels kind of lacked that. Yeah. Dragon Age 2 was kind of weird for me. I don't know. Something I liked about it was that it was kind of a regional storyline. I thought that was cool to have a regional storyline, not just like world-saving threat kind of issue that everyone has to deal with. But Origins just had such nice world building, had such awesome characters. Like Earl Eamon was awesome. Alistair is awesome. Leliana was really cool too. Yeah, I felt like I could really self-insert pretty well in Dragon Age Origins with the main character. And some scenes are just very memorable, like when Leliana sings for the camp for the first time. It's just a very memorable and well-directed scene. The banter is hilarious, and there's so much variation as well. I tried playing Origins again a year ago, but the interface didn't scale to my 4K display, so I couldn't play it all. That's a shame. Yeah, it's worth it someday if you can get that to work correctly. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that doesn't scale correctly. I kind of had some weird issues with it too, actually, at first when I was trying to get it to work. I don't know if there's like some kind of patch that fixed something. Oh yeah, there was something like that. It was like an issue with the memory, right? Like causes the game to freeze a long time ago, and there's some patch you can get to fix that. That fight you described reminds me of the Demon Wall in Final Fantasy 12. You played that? Oh, I've never played Final Fantasy 12. But yeah, it's so sick. There are player-made modules that are separate from the main game. Gotcha. Not a whole lot, but they exist. Yeah, that's cool. Last time I checked, I remember there wasn't too much. That was a few years ago, though, that I played Origins. But there was a decent amount. Yeah, there were some options. A lot of them were kind of like challenge focused. The one I played was definitely intended to be like a difficulty challenge. All like late game stuff you had to bring in. There was also some other mods that did some stuff to the main game, though. I didn't like any of the visual mods, personally. The ones that changed the character visuals, I don't know. Some of the models, I guess, changed. I didn't really love that, the way they looked, personally. Morgan for you? Nice, yeah. Morgan's sick, too. I like Morgan a lot. I think I kind of preferred Leliana, personally, though. I thought her singing scene was really nice. And I liked the French voice actress. I thought she was good, too. Morgan's voice actress is amazing, also, of course. Origins is a fun one, yeah. I haven't really revisited since I beat it. I think partly because I was so attached to my first playthrough. Sometimes with some very narrative-heavy RPGs for me, especially CRPGs with, like, you know, really great companions and stuff, I get kind of attached to the first character, the first playthrough concept, and it's a little bit hard for me to revisit sometimes. Because I see the game through that, like, narrative lens where I am attached to that specific playthrough experience, which is kind of, I don't know, maybe that's just me, a little weird. Apparently there's a 4K mod for Origins now called Nathaniel's 4K Resolution mod. Remakes the interface. I guess a replay is in order. Nice. That's cool. Probably a replay is in order for me as well. It's been a few years. I did actually, like, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, I did put Origins back in, but I just went to, what's that first area called? where you're with Duncan, the forest area. I got up to that part, so it was only like 4 or 5 hours. I don't know. The Orlesian accents were a great touch to the world building. Absolutely, yeah. I feel like a lot of Origins just had a lot of nice world building things. I really also liked what's his name? Sten? Is his name Sten? Am I thinking of that right? I really like their culture as well. His voice actor kind of nailed their vibe. And there's just something really interesting about a guy like him, and I guess the race they come from, the culture they come from, where he cares so much about is it called the coon? Is that what it's called? I forgot what it's called. But they when you first meet him killing that family like that, but still having a sense of honor. It's just like a crazy vibe for him.
United and led by a great leader and warrior, Brogan Nocturne.
But yeah, I really should revisit that at this point. And especially if there's a 4K mod like that, that's kind of sick. But in the later games like Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition, yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't get into them. I did finish 2, though, actually. It's a pretty short game as well. And, yeah, the companions were okay, I feel like. Just, I don't know. Something was so... The vibe was so different from Origins, for me, personally.
Thus it was.
This is like some kind of museum here, huh?
Ancestral home, we barrow dwarves came to live upon the snowy surface like the dead. We learned to follow the elkin beasts in their migrations, hunting them for food. But the clan grew ever smaller amidst the spirits of this place. There came a time when there was only one man left alive who still remembered Brogan's face. His name was Old Man Kavanaugh. Like Brogan before him, he was old and frail. No longer able to hunt, he thought himself a burden upon the clan. One night, as the blizzard howled, he slipped from his tent and walked into the blinding snows.
The series is a victim of horrible retcons that ruin a lot of the setting. I just ignore everything after. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it, too. I just don't feel like any of the other titles reached Origins quality and writing quality, narrative, and companion writing, all that kind of stuff. I also just prefer Origins combat, which I know a lot of people don't like Origins combat, but I actually thought it was really fun.
In the dim light, you see a message scrawled onto the stone abutment at the water's edge. A message has been scrawled in chalk upon the damp stone. It seems to have been done casually.
It was actually very satisfying, that combat system, especially
the graceful characters
some of the melee animations were really sick. I like that it was like grounded and slower paced. Like when you controlled Sten and brought down like a two-handed sword on someone, it like just cleaved through them. It felt insane. Like a really satisfying presentation, I'd say. Hey, we actually passed a check for once. Despite the dim light, you managed to decipher the elven text. The Kavanaugh Stone gave birth to Brogan's tears, and to find the mother, I must pursue the child. Looks like our journal updated from getting that difficulty check. I always prefer real-time with pause. It's a dead genre, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm actually really surprised at how many people prefer turn-based. Like, whenever I hear talk about Baldur's Gate 3 and how, much people prefer turn-based, it kind of shocks me just how... what's it called? How can I say this? Just how much more preferred turn-based is to real-time with pause. Real-time with pause just presents such a nice, like, action-oriented scene, The animations take place at the same time. It's just so visually pleasing for me. Where turn-based, I just kind of hate the presentation. I hate how much slower it tends to be. I also hate how so many turn-based systems just kind of turn into who can act first and basically shut down the other side. Like Baldur's Gate 3, it just, if you go first, you can just like completely, besides bosses, you can just make it so that the enemy can't act or they're dead already. And it's just crazy. It gets very scripted. The best thing to do kind of plays out the same on turn 1, depending on your build. Whereas real time with pause just doesn't have that issue because you can set up encounters so differently. You can set up encounters where people get flanked and then you have to react to that. And because of that, it's harder for ranged characters to stay safe, you know? Especially because these older systems built in concepts like the attack of opportunities, where if someone casts in your face, you get a free attack. There's just so many ways to deal with that in real time with pause. Just adds a lot more variety. But yeah, I don't know. Turn-based is just not for me generally. Though I can still play it, and I will still play it if the narrative is good, the story's good, the writing's good. I'm still able to deal with turn-based. It's just not my preference. But I do feel like turn-based fans outnumber real-time with pause fans by like a huge amount, and it always shocks me. But I guess some people do find real-time with pause frustrating. I've heard that said a lot on Reddit posts and stuff. Origins probably did it the best. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's the most fun, honestly. It also feels the most varied. There's cleaving attacks that hit in a wide arc, like Sten's, like 360 whirlwind attacks. There's magic is still pretty strong, but there's a lot of good variety, a lot of like crowd control spells, which are interesting. I think are very fun. There's just a good balance and variety of tools in Origins, in my opinion. I've been playing Rogue Trader and has a serious problem with one-turn battles. Yeah, I mean, a lot of turn-based games get that way, unfortunately. Because you could usually just, like, incapacitate an enemy team on turn 1 if you build correctly. It's so bad in Baldur's Gate 3, actually, how insane it gets. It's so bad that the initiative feat in Baldur's Gate 3 is, like, probably the best feat in the game. Because whoever acts first can just destroy the other team. It's crazy. Damn ads. Hello, Shpan. Good to see you. Holy crap, that graphics. Hey, what's up, Valentine? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it looks nice, right? I'm actually, I'm enjoying this. Getting back into some Neverwinter nights like this. It's been fun. This module in particular is really nice. Visually, at least. Well, to be fair, in Baldur's Gate 2, you can make a wizard build that makes it impossible for the enemies to act, but that also feels so good that you can do it. Yeah, there's definitely going to be broken builds in real time with pause as well. But the thing that's weird is that no matter how you build in Baldur's Gate 3, the first turn is almost always going to be scripted. Like there is an optimal first turn for you. That's generally scripted, no matter what your build is. Not always, of course, and bosses definitely create some variety in that, but yeah.
You almost gag on the thick, foul-smelling mists. Breathing through your mouth, you look about you. Rats scuttle in the distance, and more than one floats dead in the warm bubble.
I think that they are just louder. Sorry, forgot. Oh, no, yeah. No, you're good. No worries. They are definitely louder too. Yeah, I think probably there was some.
It almost seems to be alive somehow.
I don't know. I guess probably there was some like defensiveness about Baldur's Gate 3 changing how the other two games are. Obviously, if you're someone that was a huge fan of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, which was real time with pause, and now Baldur's Gate 3 is turn-based, I feel like, yeah, a lot of them would have been upset, and so maybe Baldur's Gate 3 just kind of wanted defended that position. I don't know, that game design choice. I by far prefer turn-based for RPGs, though. Oh yeah, Keaton? Yeah. I've always liked real time with pause, personally, but there are some turn-based games I thought were cool, though. I don't know if you guys ever played Wasteland 3. It's not like the best combat system still, in my opinion, but it works. And I don't really mind turn-based. I could still play any RPG that has it for sure. It's just not my preference. Oh, I thought this was Daggerfall? Nah, yeah, it does kind of look like Daggerfall, right? That's kind of why I also like this game's aesthetic. If I remember correctly, these dire rats don't stop coming, I think. There's something with this
The grotesquely distorted
rattling
figure
creature
before
here.
you seems to exist in a constant state of pain.
Real time with pause versus turn-based is an old nerd culture war. Yeah, absolutely.
From once pink skin,
I
and the
think as
creature's
far as like
eyes have a fever
modern
about
releases
them.
go, turn-based has won the war. What manner of beast are you? Lord Shpan, is it really you? The creature struggles with the words, lisping against its unnaturally large teeth. You changed so much since last I saw you, but I still recognize your voice. How do you know my name? I followed you all the way from the king's court, simpers the creature. I'd hoped you would still recognize me within this flesh. It's me, my lord, Baron RelsLlethri. Don't you remember me? I could lie. Of course, Baron RelsLlethri. How could I forget? Sorry, I don't know anyone by that name. The creature's teeth chatter with fever, but I've come all this way, my lord. I've suffered much for my loyalty, even this dreadful warlock's curse. I was not always like this. Why have you come so far? What reason did I have to stay, my lord? My family persuaded of my treachery, my home and barony in the hands of my own enemies, my body cursed beyond recognition, all for my loyalty. What is it that you are so loyal to? The creature falls groveling to the floor, the whining, lisping drone of its voice continuing unabated. Only to you, Lord Shpan, only and always to you, it's why they cursed me. But I would change nothing if it meant changing that, my lord. The creature groveling before you shudders with a sudden chill, and its teeth resumed with fevered chattering. Some interesting writing and prose here. You can get almost this level of graphics in Daggerfall, I think you could too, right? You probably got to use like Dream as a base, maybe, and then fool around with some visual mods that differentiate a little bit from that. But it does look kind of similar, especially the lighting and the colors and the environments. The character models, because it's 3D like this, might be a little hard to capture, but you could do something similar for sure. I replay Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 every other year through BGT, and it irked me a little bit that everybody suddenly said Baldur's Gate 3 was the best RPG ever. It's a good game, but it's not groundbreaking. Yeah, I personally didn't love Baldur's Gate 3, and there's a couple reasons for me personally why I didn't like it. One is definitely the combat. I thought the combat was not that good, and some of the boss fights, though, and the design on the bosses I thought were cool. Some of the encounters are good and well-designed, but the combat system in general I didn't love. But I also just didn't love the main narrative. I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 has a kind of weak main narrative, personally. I love the world reactivity in Baldur's Gate 3, though. That's one of its greatest features. It's such a reactive world to your choices, to your behaviors, to your conversation, your role-playing. Yeah, that level of world reactivity is very hard to accomplish in gaming, in my opinion. That's one of its biggest and most successful design choices, I think. Other than that, I thought the companions were okay. I feel like Shadowheart was pretty good. I feel like Lae'zel was pretty good as well. I didn't really like Karlach too much. I liked Gale a decent amount. He was okay. But I didn't really love anyone. See, the one funny thing about Baldur's Gate 3 for me, and I was thinking about doing a video on the concept a little bit, but just when it comes to companion writing, I just feel like it was really missing that best friend character. You know, when you play something like Mass Effect, you have Garrus. Is that his name? Garrus? Yeah, Garrus. When you play Dragon Age Origins, you have Alistar. And they're just such successfully written best friend companions. And I just feel like no one fit that role for me in Baldur's Gate 3. So I don't know, the companions were kind of hit or miss for me in total. And the companion quests were okay, but I don't know. Some of the scenes were good, some I didn't love. But yeah, the actual main story of Baldur's Gate 3 I just didn't think was that good for me. But I really thought Act 1 was like awesomely designed. Baldur's Gate 3 Act 1 I think is so good. And then Act 2 I thought was okay, and Act 3 I thought was pretty weak for me personally. The problems I have with Baldur's Gate 3 are narrative based. The actual story is decent, I think, but I think it's a bad sequel to the series. Yeah, I've heard that too. I didn't play Baldur's Gate 1 completely. I don't think I ever finished Baldur's Gate 1. But yeah, as far as Baldur's Gate 2 goes, yeah, it's just not a strong sequel for the series narratively. And yeah, I don't know. The writing just isn't really up to that level, I feel like, personally. But I never really felt like Larian were the strongest writers in the CRPG space. The things Baldur's Gate 3 did, Larian already explored in their Divinity Original Sin games. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't play the Original Sin games. I do know about them, though. I know people really love Original Sin 2. And I know it has a similar kind of system, right? But yeah, I just don't feel like Larian has the strongest writers. I'll never get over what they did to Sarahbuck. Yeah, that's like everyone's big complaint, right? My memories of Baldur's Gate 2 are very bad. I've really got to replay that game so I can have a more clear memory of it all. But I hear that complaint all the time, Breg. When you tell a Baldur's Gate 3 fan to play Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, they generally have no interest. Those games are closer to the original Baldur's Gate games. Yeah, for sure. They're much closer to them. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 really just kind of feels like Divinity Original Sin 3, right? That's what everyone says. I never played 1 or 2 for Original Sin, but that's what I've heard for... yeah, one of the common criticisms, I guess. But yeah, I thought Act 3 was just so strange and chaotic. Like, visually, it was cool to see Baldur's Gate in that way. And right before you enter Act 3, I don't know if you guys remember, but like at the end of Act 2... or maybe it's the beginning of Act 3 when you're at that, like, broken down ruins that's on that hill. And from there, you can see Baldur's Gate in the distance. I thought that was very cool direction. And you camped there that night. But, I don't know, when I actually got to the city, I just felt like there was so much... I don't know, it was very chaotic. So much to do. It wasn't focused, I feel like. I don't know. I don't know. Did you guys like the companions? Did you feel like they held up well compared to, like, other older CRPGs? I felt like it was much worse than Dragon Age Origins for me. Like, I love the Origins cast. They're part of the curse, following me everywhere I go, gnawing on my tail, clawing at my feet. Please, my lord, you must believe me. Look, come with me, I'll take care of you. Let's try to save this guy. The creature shakes his horrid head. No, my lord, I've already traveled far to see your face again. I'm sick and weary and would only slow you down. You do what you must do, and I will rest here to regain my strength. The wretched creature turns from you, seeking a perch that might be free of rats. Sheesh, could you imagine a curse like that? Literally non-stop rats
the limestone
chase you.
floor seems to have grown around this more ancient wall, crumbling like winter ice along an island's edge. The dwarven pictograms, clearly of an ancient style, are impossible to decipher beneath the thin sheen of mineral deposits. The soft blue flame seemed kept alive by magic alone.
Can I rest here? No, I can't rest here. My health is kind of low. A little dangerous here. Oh, we found one of those tendrils. That's what we're supposed to do, I think. That's like kind of the goal, I guess, of what we're doing here. We're definitely going to die to this fight, though. We got 4 on us. I think we're dead here. Oh, and we got disease? Yeah, we're screwed. We did get a cleave proc there. I don't know. It's going to be close. Nah. So, interesting. The story said when I die 3 times, I can respawn in that Sorrows thing. Oh, yeah. You may either wait for assistance or press the respawn button to let your soul slip into the plane of sorrows. Oh, let's try that. Kind of want to see what that says. Hey, what's up, Bang? How's it going? We're doing a little Neverwinter Nights today. I might swap to Daggerfall soon. We've been doing this for a while. Yeah, I think we'll probably swap soonish. I kind of have a memory of this module being a lot shorter, but it's actually kind of challenging for a fighter class. Nobody talks about the companions aside from the first 3 or 4. Yeah. And I feel like some of the extra ones that made appearances from Baldur's Gate 2, I don't know. They just handled them so strangely, I feel like. For me, just something off about it. Larian never had the best writing. It's not gotten better, but kudos to them for breaking into the mainstream. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is crazy successful. And it is cool to see a CRPG be that successful in the mainstream, like, gaming space. You just don't see that. And it is, you know, it's got a decent amount of depth to it. It's not just like a simplified system. They didn't just take the CRPG genre and say, you know what, we're going to make it super accessible. Baldur's Gate 3 still has a lot of cool, well, I guess 5th edition D&D in general still has some cool building you can do, some thoughtful design and stuff, and class concepts you can try and capture. But yeah, I know the writing hasn't been the best. I really don't play too many Larian games. I guess they really haven't made too many besides the old Divinity games, right? They have like Divine Divinity, which is some Diablo style-ish game. They've also got Divinity 2, which was kind of like a open world-ish third-person action-adventure RPG kind of thing. Barely played Dragon Age 2, but I watched all the cutscenes in one long YouTube video, and I love the characters, story, and setting. Shame about the game. Yeah. Yeah, I do think Dragon Age 2... oh, is that... Yeah, Dragon Age 2. Yeah, that must be what you're talking about. I do think that a lot of people do like the companions a lot. I felt like compared to Origins, I didn't love them. I just loved Origins so much more, personally. It was so hard for me to get into the Dragon Age 2 companions. I don't know why. I didn't feel like they were bad, though, or anything. Like, that wasn't my feeling. It was just, I was expecting that Origins level. It just didn't hit for me in the same way. Dragon Age Origins is superior? Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, too, Bang. It's just, I don't know. I loved almost everything about Origins, from the combat, to the companion writing, to the narrative. Music was good. Like, scene direction was really nice, too. Good story can suffer from the game and vice versa. Yeah, for sure. I do like Baldur's Gate 3. I do agree the Pillar games are more like the first two Baldur's Gate games, though. I think they mostly did Divinity games, but a lot of them, yeah, there was a ton of them, right? I don't know what Divinity 1 was like, but I think Original Sin is their first actual CRPG, right? I don't think any of the other ones were like actual CRPGs. They were just different kind of RPG genres. Dragon Age Origins still the best for me personally? Yeah. For me, it's, yeah, not too close of a comparison there. I feel like Origins is just so good. I like the voice acting in Origins too.
The night hag's pale green face emerges.
Pathfinder Wrath of Righteous, which came out 2 years prior, is a similar game in that it has a lot of reactivity as well, a ton of build writing and better writing, but no one cared. Yeah, I played Wrath of Righteous. I really liked it. Wrath of Righteous was one of those games where I kept resetting because there's so much fun build potential in that game that I just kept wanting to try out other classes and other builds. It's almost like paralyzing just how many options you have. You could just do anything you want. And although it was difficult, I tried to play on core settings, and it took me some time to learn the systems and stuff like that. I'd never played Pathfinder before. I didn't play Kingmaker. I own it, but I just made sure it worked. I didn't really play it. But yeah, Wrath of Righteous I felt was really good too. There were times I felt like the writing was good, but not amazing in Wrath of Righteous, and times I thought it was good. It just kind of depended on the character and stuff like that. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Good music as well, like really good music. The Mythic Paths were such a brilliant system. Like such a brilliant system. I feel like it's so good. I currently have a shifter in Pathfinder Wrath of Righteous. Nice, yeah. Yeah, shifter's really fun. One of the companions is a Griffin shifter, which is kind of cool too. But which shifter subclass did you go? Did you just stay with the main class, or did you try one of the subclasses? One of the subclasses for shifter is like basically the Hulk, which I thought was a sick concept. You just grow large in size and get muscle and stuff. Maybe it's like flesh something. I forgot what it's called. But I prefer turn-based mode in Wrath of Righteous over the real-time with pause. Oh, yeah. The only thing about turn-based in Wrath of Righteous is some fights can take a very long time. But I didn't use turn-based mode too much in Wrath of the Righteous, but yeah. It's really cool that you can swap between them freely. I mean, that was an awesome addition as well. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's way superior to Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, I think so too. Origins was supposed to have some expansions, but EA forced them into making Dragon Age 2. They planned on going back to finish it, but EA was being EA. But there's a modder who's went through and fully expanded on the ideas they put in Dragon Age Origins. That's awesome, yeah. I have tried some of the modded content in Origins. Not all of it, though. I know there's a lot of cool stuff out there. I didn't know exactly what to grab and what not to grab. I played one of the extra dungeons, and I thought it was really good. Had an awesome boss fight at the end of it. I got the mod that gives you the player house as a substitute to your camp. That was super sick also. I really liked that one. There were some other like quality of life mods I used that did some stuff. It's so hard for me to remember exactly what they were now. But there was a decent amount of quality modded content for that game. Kind of surprising. Your lycanthrope shifter, nice. That's cool. I don't think I ever tried that subclass out. I was playing a druid at first. I thought druid was pretty fun in Wrath of the Righteous. I felt like druid wasn't good to multi-class with anything though necessarily. So I just kind of went pure class on that. But I did do a couple multi-classes with other stuff that were fun. I did a vivisectionist. Is that what it's called? I think it's called a vivisectionist with the one of the martial focused rogue subclasses. So hard for me to remember the names. There's so many subclasses in that game. But that was really cool because you get the mutant buff, which is extremely strong. And it was pretty good for core difficulty, I found. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can also shop with her again. I got no gold, though. I have no idea where you're supposed to get gold in this module. Excuse me there. It's hard to multi-class the spellcaster characters. Yeah, I think so, too. That's how it felt for me as well. Which mythic path did you choose? You know, there was one thing about Wrath of the Righteous that kind of soured me on the narrative. And I don't know. I kind of want to ask you guys. Maybe I'm crazy for feeling this way. But I wanted to go the legend path, right? And the legend path, if you're not familiar, actually, this could be spoilers. I don't know. It is kind of a spoiler for the mythic path, but only that mythic path. So I'm not spoiling the actual narrative, really. At least not too much. But for the legend mythic path, the concept is kind of like you're rejecting all the gods, right? You're rejecting the gods and you're just kind of using your own self, your core, your beliefs, your values, whatever, as sort of like that is like the origin of your power, I guess. It's not coming from any of the gods. You're rejecting all the other mythic paths. You're rejecting everything. You become a legend amongst mortals, right? That's the concept. But the only way to announce it, the only way to awaken that mythic path is to have that angel god help you see it. And narratively, I felt like that was such a miss. It actually really kind of soured my like vibe of my playthrough. I didn't feel like I earned that legend mythic path. I didn't feel like it actually came from me. I didn't feel like I was actually rejecting the gods like you're supposed to be. I was really surprised it was written that way, especially because it's the biggest moment for that mythic path, you know? I just felt like I was basically working with, I can't remember the angel's name now. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't love that choice by them. I actually put down the character for a bit after that. I tend to be single class anyway. I currently have a Druid Shifter Monk in Neverwinter Nights 1 at the moment. That's fun. That's cool, yeah. Druid and Monk is super good with Shifter in Neverwinter Nights. You can really like double dip on that Wisdom skill modifier for so many reasons. For your AC, for your hit, it's like really strong. For casters, you just want to dip into a class, get 1 or 2 levels for a specific talent. Yeah, that makes sense. I even did a little bit of dipping like that with some of the martial classes too. The Vivisectionist, I think, is really good for like a 2-level dip maybe, just so you can get the mutant, like that mutant potion thing. I don't know. It gives you like a +4 ability score buff to whichever attribute you want, I guess. I think there's 3 different potions. One's for Constitution, one's for Strength, maybe, I think it is. I feel like that's really strong too. That angel sounds like a scammer, yeah. Yeah, I was kind of surprised at that narrative choice. I don't know. I think some of the other mythic paths are better. I thought the demon one is just so sick. At least until like the point that I swapped to legend. I renounced it, then went to the legend mythic path. But the demon mythic path just changes so much. Your character looks insane. You get all these super sick demon skills like the teleport and stuff. The teleport charge. Yeah, I gotta go back to Wrath of the Righteous. I actually really like starting up files in that game and starting up new playthroughs, but it's just kind of long that I don't always finish it. But I have used some mods like if you guys don't use that buff mod, that's like a huge time saver. You should definitely grab that one. I don't know if it's called Easy Buff or something like that. But yeah, that's like super nice and convenient quality of life mod. And there's also a mod to skip all of the The Crusade, like Heroes of Might and Magic stuff. Because I didn't love that either, actually, in Wrath of Righteous. It's not bad, but if you played Heroes of Might and Magic 3, it's kind of hard to play their version of it, in my opinion. For me, at least. I have a 40 AC with certain forms. That's sick, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good if you're 40 AC. I know that some were written due to complaints. To be fair, there were a bunch of issues with the first year release. Oh, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I didn't play early on like that. I don't know much about the history of that. That's kind of interesting, though. I feel like, yeah, there probably were a decent amount of revisions then, right? I mean, the game is so, like, packed with cool narrative stuff. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I love what they did with Camellia. Is that her name? Camellia, I think it is. I mean, her reveal was just so awesome and, like, genuinely shocking. And some of the scenes in the beginning when you have to confront that situation was sick. Now that you mention it, that's often why I avoid classes that require a patron deity or some variety of such in an RPG. It's an RPG, let me do it. Yeah, I think some of them are kind of cool in Path of Righteous, and some of the mythic paths don't actually make you like worship a deity at all. It's just that I feel like the legend path is like that one option to have nothing kind of supernatural influenced on you, and they kind of ruined it, in my opinion, in that moment. I actually had to ask and look up online what other people thought about it, and there's a decent amount of people that kind of shared my view on it, it looks like. I don't know. But, you know, there's a ton of different mythic paths, and some of them are very cool. There's a Lich one that, like, you convert all of your allies into undead servants. Like, it's just such a cool concept. It's insane how much they alter your playthrough. Like you, it's hard for me to stay with a character. Yeah, I tend to just enjoy trying out a lot of stuff. I tend to be able to get through one playthrough, but I don't usually get through more than one playthrough in any RPG, because I'll just be restarting a little bit too much. There's a bunch of cool mods. I also use expanded content mod and the summons transition fix, so you can bring summons through area change. Oh, that's sick, yeah. Oh, that's super nice, actually. I didn't even think about how kind of annoying that could be otherwise. Yeah, some hints in her voice dialogue, but yeah, I don't like talking about specifics either. I'd rather try and sell the game to people who've not played it. Yeah, same. Yeah, especially a spoiler like that. I wouldn't want to specifically say what it's all about, of course. Especially on this channel. I feel like a lot of people might be looking at RPGs and CRPGs they might want to try out, maybe. It's fun to roleplay characters like that sometimes. It opens up characters that follow their faith or question it or so forth. Yeah, that could definitely be cool. I do generally like to have some kind of role-playing concept before I make a character. Wrath of Righteous is a very comfy game as well. Good music.
The night hag's pale.
I love the Crusader theme that happens when you're in the camp when you first get there. In Wrath of Righteous, it's so good. And so is the Azada. The Azada Mythic Path music is amazing. That piano song. Or it starts with a piano. And I think it's got flutes in too. Yeah, it's really nice. Man, I kind of want to play Wrath of Righteous again. I don't know. For you guys that played Wrath of Righteous and enjoyed it, do you think it's worth going back and playing Kingmaker, or should I just stick with Wrath of Righteous, you think? I've heard some people like the companions better in Kingmaker, but I heard that like combat and the mythic paths aren't there for Kingmaker, so I don't know. I quite enjoyed my Magus in Kingmaker that I want to do in Wrath of Righteous. Nice. I don't think I tried out the Magus. It seemed like a cool class, though. There's just so many cool classes. Pathfinder's insane with its system. Man, this sends you all the way back here when you die like this. That's crazy. I probably should have gone a Druid for this module as well. I would at least have my Brown Bear companion, which would be really useful. Kingmaker's also good, but late game it gets a bit tedious in my honest opinion, but it's a matter of taste. Interesting. I heard it also has its own kind of gimmicky side mode or something where you got to build up the kingdom, I guess. I don't know. But I didn't really mind the Crusader mode in Wrath of Righteous. I just felt like it didn't really hit that Heroes of Might and Magic vibe for me. I felt like it was a little bit like a chore for me. I would have been okay if it was all like text-based. If they just went that route, I would have been okay with that too. But it wasn't too disruptive, I don't feel like. But it took a lot of time for sure. That's a good question. I think it's good to experience the story and world of Kingmaker, but I like Wrath of Righteous overall better. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, some of the companions did look cool, I thought. I feel like I don't recognize this place that we were just coming through here. Oh man, that's a lot of them. Oh, that cleave is so sick. This is coming from a person who hasn't beaten either the... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did feel like Act 4 in Wrath of Righteous dragged for a little bit for me. Not terribly, though, but just a little bit. There's a lot about Act 4 that I also like, though, so it's kind of interesting. Oh, there's so many of these kobolds. What's going on here? Oh, these are goblins. Okay. If we had Greater Cleave, we'd be destroying these guys right now. Oh, what's going on over here? Looks like they're kind of fighting. Both are definitely worth a playthrough, as are the Pillars of Eternity games. Just forget about Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, I mean, I got no plans to revisit Baldur's Gate 3. Though the modding content in Baldur's Gate 3 was already shaping up to be really crazy. I mean, it's no surprise that game's going to have an absolutely insane modding scene. It's just so popular. I'm sure it's going to attract a lot of very talented modders. So I guess if someone does for Baldur's Gate 3 what Neverwinter Nights has, like if someone makes their own modules, their own campaigns for Baldur's Gate 3, maybe do some changes to combat, I would be willing to try that out for sure. With their own companions, own characters, their own narrative. I have Barbarian as the main character? Nice. Yeah, I kind of want to try the Pillars games. I think I tried one of them. It might have been two. That one had like a nautical, kind of like a nautical vibe to it. Sailors and... It's kind of interesting that there's firearms in that setting as well, mixed with the traditional fantasy. So I thought that's kind of interesting and cool. Though plenty of D&D settings have that as well, I think. I do mods with Baldur's Gate 3, and I like that. Yeah, I think they're working on modules, actually. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll 100% check that out if something cool comes out. I actually had a decent amount of mods for my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, just because there's some cool character creation ones, and I had the third-person mod. If you guys haven't tried that, I 100% recommend, even just for a little bit, fooling around with it, even if you don't really want to go back to Baldur's Gate 3. Because it was, basically playing like how I am in Neverwinter Nights here, which is full third person, and it's actually very pretty to look at the world like that. I think for some reason, Baldur's Gate 3's isometric view is like a little weird for me. I don't know. I don't love how they handle it. Not that it's terrible, but it's just like not as good as the Infinity Engine games in my opinion. I've heard of one, I think, but it's more like let's explore our characters and world kind of thing, as opposed to a whole new campaign. Gotcha. Yeah, I did see some YouTuber that was covering the mod they were working on. They were definitely testing a new environment. But yeah, it was definitely not a full campaign at all. Oh man, I've been going a long time. I think I might end the stream here, guys. We'll just do the Daggerfall Abyss dungeons tomorrow, I think. And we'll kind of focus more on just Daggerfall tomorrow. But yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. As always, I always appreciate it. Always love chatting with you guys, hanging out, talking about RPGs. And yeah, it's kind of nice to play some Neverwinter Nights. It's been a while. It's sad that I quite enjoy the character creation into, especially multi-classing out of Druid Fighter. Ooh, Druid Fighter is one of my favorites. Kind of like a Green Knight kind of build. I think somebody was working on Real Time with Pause mod for Baldur's Gate 3. That would be insane. That would also get me to try it again, but I'm not sure if they kept up with it. Interesting. In the post-game, I recreate a D&D character of mine. Yeah, that's always fun. You dropped the subscribe. Hey, thanks, Taoist. I appreciate it. Like my energy? Thanks. Yeah, we'll definitely pick this up again. I've been doing kind of random streams throughout the week. On Saturdays and Sundays, I try to keep it consistent on like noon Eastern for me. And yeah, so we'll probably do that again this weekend. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to work on the videos. I don't know if I'll stream. I might do a stream. I might not. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I always appreciate it. Always fun to hang out with you. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next stream.